Hello and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and you can tweet me as well on Twitter at Dan Who Reviews. But as always, I'm not on my own, and I'm speeding things up because this man is in a rush. He's a busy man, but it is of course Hero Collections, aka Brandon. How you doing, my friend? You good?
Yes, good, thank you, bro. So good to be here. Happy Thursday. But yeah, a busy week at the moment, and a really busy week coming up. So it's but couldn't drop the streak. Have to be here.
The streak, it's a great streak. We're 49 weeks in a row we have streamed. So it's not 49 Thursdays, it's 49 weeks consistently. We've not missed a week.
No, I can't believe that. I think it's crazy. I feel like we're going to get to a year and be like, wait, how did it just... Yeah, it's mad.
Well, next week is the milestone of 50, but we're going to wait to celebrate until 52, because then that's the full week. So we're literally weeks away now. Like,
yeah, it is really mad. It is really crazy. And it's gone so quick. That's the main thing. I think what's exciting, though, is to think that, like, what we knew when we started versus what we know now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Think about how much stuff has come out, how much stuff has been revealed. And you know, we didn't have Disney Plus. Shows back then. Like,
we were in a drought. We were in an MCU drought when we started this last year.
Yeah, and now we've got the Disney Plus wave, the Shang-Chi wave, new Black Widow figures.
We've seen all 3 Disney Plus shows so far. We've finally seen an MCU movie in the cinema. Things are slowly starting to tick off, and now we're 3 weeks away from our anniversary episode. Hopefully by then we're going to have all the San Diego Comic-Con potential reveals, not just from Marvel Legends but from all the other brands and collections, and it's going to hurt our wallets, that's for sure. But hello everybody that is here, welcome one and all. Always appreciate you joining us here. It's awkward time for our US friends, but if you're in the UK, then 8 p.m. sort of chill out time. You've probably had your dinner by now and you're just chilling out. I think Phil Jones said he's just put us onto the big TV. So hello Phil Jones's family. Hello, how you doing? And I do want to do some quick shout outs at so I want to shout out Cloud Foxwile, who's apparently listening to us out now while he's shopping in Walgreens. See if you can find like a Mystique hidden right at the back of the shelves. That would be great for me. And also shout out the Wolfpack, the lads, Killer Mike and Mischievous Unicorn. They are currently watching us as they do the dishes. The Wolf Dad, aka Magal, is off at work, so he can't do the dishes. So he's got his kids doing some slave labor over the sink. And there's a lot of dishes as well. So they eat a lot of food by the seams of it. But shout out to the lads. Hope you're well. And hello to everyone who's here. Brandon, do you want to do some quick hellos? Because I know you ain't fucking got long, and I know people come here for you. So let's hear some names out your mouth.
We got Richard here, our #1 super producer. AB Douglas says, how's everyone doing? We have to meet for the rest of the show. Please let me know when, because I'm behind on Loki and haven't seen Black Widow yet. Jamie is here. Jimmy Boy says, so angry with what Ben tweeted, basically saying they aren't showing much like previous years, but it's okay because we're doing a live stream later in July.
I'll show that tweet later. It's talking about Dan Yun. I'll show that later. Yeah.
Expectations very low with what they're going to show tomorrow. Jimmy, man, look, life is full of ups and downs, and most of those ups are attributed to the Hasbro Marvel Legends team. I don't say that to kiss up or to be nice. I'd say that to be real. I think it's great of Dan to set expectations like that, because, I think if your expectations are very low, I'm very excited to see how psyched you're going to be tomorrow, because I think that the teasers so far indicate that it's going to be HasLab. I think that, there's no San Diego Comic-Con really this year, so why would we have San Diego Comic-Con exclusives? We will get PulseCon. So we will have PulseCon exclusives, so it's not like you're losing out there. And if we're getting 2 live streams in July, surely the more the merrier, Take a chill pill, bro. It's all going to be okay, I promise. Sit down for a second.
Indeed.
Jamie says, the thing is, Jimmy, they could show a little and you want it all, or show loads and no one wants it. It's a waiting game. Yeah, I mean, I think, look, I think what they're doing is solid, really. I think they spread everything out. They know when to get us. I can't remember a week really this year where we didn't get some sort of a reveal, whether it was Legends, Black Series, or otherwise.
They're drip feeding us these days rather than waiting. Usually we'd have a couple of big occasions throughout the year. We'd have Toy Fair in February, we'd have San Diego Comic-Con in the July, and then probably the October time we would have New York Comic-Con. Shout out Gamer Boy 103 with the 99p. That's not a super chat, that's a donation through the Streamlabs, which I do appreciate. The Streamlabs links are in the description. I think Streamlabs is better than super chat, if I'm honest, so if you're feeling generous. But yeah, as I was saying, they usually they give us those 3 big occasions where they give us loads, where now instead they just slowly drip it out. So there's always something. Like, just think, we do a weekly show, and most weeks, including this week, there's new toys to talk about, do you know? Like, so I'm not complaining.
No, absolutely.
And some weeks there's something for someone, and then the other weeks there may not be something for you, do you know? It's just how it is. It's, you can't keep you happy every week.
Exactly, and which is even better, because then you get to pick and choose. Because I know it'd be overwhelming if I wanted everything from all lines. So, you know, being able to pick and choose, I think they do really well to, you know, appeal to everybody. Mark Tech says, "Pow, what's up, gang? Apparently Galactus is the HasLab reveal tomorrow."
Oh, is it now?
Boog Nice has insider info. That's pretty cool. Dan Hayden is in the chat. It says, "Evening, gents. Fun fact. I have a mint Doctor Doom upstairs and a mint X23 Wolverine upstairs, thanks to Dan Hayden."
Oh, very nice.
Forbidden Planet runs, and usually has some great pickups. Tony Collector says, "What's up, everyone?" Jamie says, "Jamie's here." Nathan Tolan, Identity Complex Collectibles. Strident says, "I finally got my classic Ultron from Hasbro Pulse. Mine should be here tomorrow if I'm lucky." Strident. Matt W says, "Howdy, y'all. I'm still waiting for where it's go from Pulse." NASA says, "How's everyone doing?" The Wolfpack Tour Review is here. Jimmy Boy is saying he just wants to buy something, don't we all? Anna here says, "Good evening, gents." Bastion is here, says, "Much love from Germany." Omega Weapon 13, George W101, Gentle Tuna, Mark Rose, Laser Trousers, Sir Laser Trousers is here.
Sir Laser Trousers, yes, of course. Royalty is in the building.
Your boys got toys, says, "Just landed, happy Thursday." Cameron Wright is here, Rush McGowan, NASA, I think I said. Mischievous Unicorn, one of the Wolfpack tour reviewers, says, "We've got you on the big screen, great to
How?
see." Tanner says, "Brandon has gone quiet." Oops. And everyone's saying, "Can't hear Brandon, your volume is low." Brandon.
Yeah, you were quiet for a little bit, but it seems to have picked up now. It's not my end. I've got you up to the max.
It might be, because I've not got the earphones.
It's all good.
Screw Toys says, "Dan, love the logo." Tyler Henderson says, "Hi, Dan, here reviews." Matt W says, "Brandon's leaving early again." Yes,
he's a busy guy.
Yeah, this week and next week I'm a bit tight, but we will be back to our regularly scheduled program. You'll see in a few days why I will be a bit short on time next week, but it's for a very, very good reason. I promise. Home Dude is here. Wing or Loose is here in the chat, who posts some great photos on Instagram all the time. So if you guys aren't following
Indeed.
him, please do. He's one of our Canadian fellow collectors.
Canada is the place to be these days if you're a collector and you want things first. I promise you.
They get. What else did they get recently?
I know.
Maestro already? I can't remember.
I just remember seeing Troy get a lot of things first, and then he hooks up Kevin toying around, and I'm like, damn, we live so far away, and shipping's an absolute nightmare. Do you know? Otherwise, I'd be hitting up the DMs as well. Jumping back to the chat, shout out Screw Toys. He says, "Dan, love the logo." And if you notice, if you look very closely, his logo is very similar. Very similar. Just a coincidence. But great minds clearly think alike. Yeah, shout out to the crew. Shout out to the people here. By the way, for the chat, I've turned... So I can have the option to turn it on to members only. I don't want to do that because I know not everyone can become a channel member, which is absolutely fine. But I have turned it on to subscribers only because pressing that subscribe button is completely free. And if you're here watching the stream, then why aren't you subscribed anyway? So you have to be a subscriber now to join in the chat. which is absolutely fine. I will never turn it exclusive to channel members. As I said, I've got Legends and Liquor for my channel members as guests. And talking about channel members, because Brandon's got to leave early, hopefully we can get some Brandon variants on to sort of replace him, talking about Loki later on. But if you're a channel member and you're available and you're about tonight, then let me know. Hit up my DMs, tell me you're about. And if you're a channel member at the members club level, you can be on the stream tonight talking about Loki, where your thoughts on Black Widow, and of course predictions for the Fan First Friday this week. So let me do some quick housekeeping and then we'll get Brandon's thoughts on Friday before he gets out of here. Let me scroll down to my buttons. Right, so as always, you know the score. Friday works on a Thursday. It's very confusing, but the only thing you need to know is if you super chat anything over £4 or $4, then she will hopefully read it out loud for you on the screen. So interrupt the conversation, be a part of today's stream, and help support and contribute to the channel. Honestly, it means a lot. Thank you very much. And if you want to go through that little bit more, I've already talked about the join button. Become a channel member and be on today's show. As I said, I'm going to bring on some channel members towards the end of the stream to get their thoughts on Loki and Black Widow. So if you want to be on today's stream, and then hit that join button, be a channel member, hit up my DMs on the Instagram. That's the best way to make it happen. You can also use these fancy emojis. There you go. Look at that. Thanos Copter before it was popular, before it was MCU canon. It was here in our chat. And then, of course, become a channel member, Legends and Liquor. You know the score. Buy some t-shirts. You know the score. All the links for all this type of stuff is in the description below. But Brandon, before you get out of here, I do want to just get your quick thoughts on Fan First Friday, which is this week. So I'll throw it up now. So Hasbro Pulse, of course, they've got Fan First Fridays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I think they've done them on every day of the week at this point. But we do have a special Marvel Legends one this Friday, which is tomorrow, the 16th of July. I believe it's going to be about 4 p.m. UK time. So I'm guessing that's 1 Eastern, maybe, and maybe 10 Pacific. That's off the top of the head, so if I'm right, bravo. But yeah, they told us expect something big, so I'm sure that leads us all thinking to one thing. Brandon, your brief thoughts on this before you get out of here. Excited?
Yes, very excited, very excited. I mean, look, they blew us away last year with the Sentinel. We're almost there, you know. August is weeks away. I imagine that we'll get an update tomorrow as well on when that'll start shipping. August probably for the US, December probably for us.
True.
Hopefully not, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I think it's gonna be great. I think beyond the point of predicting, I think I'm just hoping it's Galactus because, you know, with what they did with the Sentinel, I can only imagine the absolute beauty that they will bring to our shelves with what a Galactus.
It's got to be bigger, right? If it is Galactus, which we're assuming now it is, it's got to be bigger than the Sentinel, right?
I think on one hand, yes. On the other hand, I hope not, because A, where the heck is it gonna go?
Yeah.
And B, that $350 price point was like, I personally think that $350 price point was, you know, that £3.50 price point.
Yeah, of course, $3.50. Yeah, $3.50. buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
That's if 2 Sentinels turn up at my door. It was buy one, get one free. Yep.
I think that was a pretty perfect price point for what we got. You know, I think that the Sentinel was just amazing. What they did with it, what they've done with it, what we're gonna get. So I'm hoping it's, as they've said to you, that Sentinel-esque price point, that Sentinel-esque size, and we'll see. But I'm really hoping it's Galactus. I'm hoping the tiers of some heralds would be great. Hopefully some pinless heralds.
I've got a list of some heralds here, Brandon, just randomly. So the Silver Surfer, the Airwalker, Fire Lord, the Destroyer from Asgard was apparently a herald at some point. Terrax, the Tamer, Nova, Stardust, Annihilation, and that's just a couple. I think there's Red Swift was one. Any of them just jump out to you that you'd like in figure form?
Terrax in particular would be my go-to. I would love to see a new Surfer that is the new Bucky cat body that they told you about.
Yep.
I'd love to see a new Surfer like that that's, you know, completely pinless, butterflies, everything we could ever want. That new neck peg system. If they did that, I would just be over the moon. But between that and Terrax, those are my two hopes for tiers. We'll see.
That reminds me, this turned up today.
Yeah, there you go.
So I want to shout out Matthew. I think he's still recovering. He had an operation, and he sent me this just before he went in. And it took about 6 weeks to get it. For some reason, this went to Denmark before it came to the UK. Makes absolutely no sense. But I now have a nice, loose, shiny Silver Surfer just in time for the Galactus reveal tomorrow. And this one's going straight on the display. So there you go. Shout out Matthew. Much appreciated, my friend. I haven't even had a chance to message you back yet. So hopefully you're watching live and you get my thanks in person. But I appreciate you. And Brandon, I also appreciate you. I don't want to take up too more of your time because I know you're really busy. As I said, you've snuck in here to keep the streak going, which we appreciate. As I said, next week is 50 in a row. I may get some party poppers just for 50, and then we can celebrate again on our year anniversary.
And fingers crossed, all being well, touch wood, wherever I may be.
Oh yes, that's true.
Wherever I may be streaming from next week will hopefully be something different.
Yeah, Brandon may be on a beach next week, people. We'll find out. That would be pretty cool if you are. I'll be very jealous.
Behind me, but it would be something special, that's for sure. So we shall see.
Yeah, Brad. So but people are saying your volume's low, but as I said, people, Brandon's jumped on real quick because he's really busy. He wants the streak to continue, so he was here to say hello. So he's off now, but we appreciate him for jumping on anyway. Any final word before you get gone, Brandon?
If you haven't seen Black Widow already, then go and find a lovely teaser for it on my Instagram, hero.collections. I was really proud of this picture I posted of the SH figure Black Widow. So, shameless plug, go show that some love. And also, go show Zemnu some love. You know, that post, I was really proud of getting a picture of Zemnu. But it didn't get the love that everything else usually gets, so... Go and show Zemnu some
Yeah, go show Zemnu some love.
Especially after everybody who probably follows this stream probably convinced me to get Zemnu in the first place. Remember I did that poll and I was like, should I get Zemnu or not? And everybody said yes. So go show that some love. But yeah, other than the shameless plug, I'm excited to catch you guys next week. And excited to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, exciting. As I said, I don't know. I'm always excited to jump on and talk toys. So depending on how big the reveal is tomorrow, I may try and figure something out for the weekend. But we'll keep you updated, people. But Brandon, we appreciate you. Go and follow him. Hero.collections. Links are on the screen and in the description. You know the score, people. Go and show the man some love and the ACBA that he's been doing recently. And yeah, Brandon, peace out. See you again next week. Same place, same time. Well, it's different place for you, but same time anyway. Bye-bye, my friend. Bye-bye. Right, pal. And then there was one. As I said, I don't like doing this type of thing on my own. I'd rather there be some sort of conversation. So I've been speaking to the multiverse, and I'm going to try and get in some Brandon variants since that Brandon, our Brandon, let's call him Brandon Prime. Brandon Prime is obviously busy. He's got stuff to do before his busy week ahead. So I'm going to go out in search in the multiverse and find some variants of Brandon to pull in. And as I said, hopefully some channel members can join us as well. If you've seen Loki, Black Widow. Again, I understand that not everyone has had the opportunity to see on both. So I don't want to spend too much time spoiler talk, but I do want to get into spoilers because let's be honest, the majority of the people here are Marvel fans. So the majority of us here, I am sure, have seen Loki and Black Widow. We all live in this spoiler type world where if you don't watch them as they're happening, you can just harmlessly scroll Instagram or Twitter and a spoiler will slap you in the face, which has happened to me on many occasions. So I do want to make sure I give people plenty of notice. Ralph, like said at the start of the stream, he has not seen them yet, unfortunately. So we will get into it. Screw Toy says we got way to 4K. Let's get down to 20K and let's get me to 1K too. Yeah, 20K would be great, but let's get me to 13K first. I've been just stuck in limbo on this 12K universe. But yeah, shout out Screw Toys. Go and, as I said, everyone follow each other. This is all one big community, people. These are just numbers at the end of the day. I'd genuinely rather have you guys here than 1 million subscribers and no one watching. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. So yeah, shout out Screw Toys. Go and follow him. And let's see if we can get in some Brandon variants. Here we go. So here's the first Brandon variant. Pow! Brandon variant number 1.
Hey man, how's it going? Happy Thursday, keeping this streak going, man. Yeah.
What multiverse are you from? Some sort of surfer dude multiverse where there's no cars, there's just streams and surfers.
Surfers, man. Yeah, I love it. I love Star Wars, and I love pins. Pins, I love them, man. Favorite thing in the world.
Definitely a variant of Brandon, because the Brandon I know hates pins.
I'm Brandon. I love pins. I love them. Everyone be talking about ACBA, all the pin work in there, man. I love it.
I haven't got a pin emoji. I've only got a no pin emoji, but I'm still happy to have you here. I do like the hair as well. Very, very, very stylish.
Thanks, man. This takes hours of work before I come on.
Beautiful. Right, so I'm assuming that the Loki and Black Widow happen in your multiverse as well.
Yeah, they've just been like great shows. We've had like Black Widow this week. We've had like a bit of like play going on, and I haven't been able to go to cinema for like 80 months. But finally this week I've been to see Black Widow, man. Is that the same in your universe? Have you got a Black Widow too?
Yeah, we had COVID-19. What was happening over in your multiverse?
Like Apocalypse, like
dear.
The X-Men, like he's just real.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's a scary.
Got an X-Men poster, like try and ward him off. It doesn't work though. I don't know why I'm going more American. It just goes on, man. This is just weird.
You can do a pretty good American accent considering you're Welsh. I can't do any accents. This is, of course, people.
I'm not Welsh. I'm from the south of England.
This is, of course, Rich M, super producer. With the grew loads of hair overnight, though. That's pretty impressive. Oh my god! Oh my god! Shocking!
Now I can see the tracks. I can't see nothing with it. It's like,
I don't even know if I can get rid of the Brandon tag. So you may have to be Brandon for the stream. I think I can. There you go. There you go. Right, pal. Okay, so I appreciate you jumping in, Rich, because as I said, Brandon's a busy man, and there's some new shows that people have seen and we're excited to talk about. But before we get into that, of course, it wouldn't be a stream if we didn't talk about toys. And I know we talked about this on Legends and Liquor, but this is a different stream, different people tune in, so we may go over some of the same things again, but I'm still always curious to know. Before we get into the Fan First Friday stuff, we do have a reveal, Rich, that we haven't actually talked about on the stream yet. Do you remember what it is?
Is it Hercules?
Yeah. Is that from Nutty Professor?
Nutty Professor.
Yeah. It is Hercules. So let's see if I can grab him on the screen. There he is. And he's on retro packaging. So we know the same way they revealed Hercules was on that they did like some sort of graphic art or something, didn't they? And then they also revealed T. Grey the same way, aka Tigra, for people who don't know. So would you be, before we get into Hercules, just keeping on Tigra, would you be happy to see Tigra on a retro card?
I mean, I don't care if she's in a plastic bag. She's not staying on the cards for long. I'll tell you that now. Like some people have got nostalgia for this. Tigra on this card, it's not really nostalgic for me, but I'll buy two anyway because it's Tigra.
Well, will you buy two Herculeses?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I've got two already.
Do you have the previous Hercules?
I do, yeah. He's in a box, like right in front of me, but I can't reach him or everything's gonna fall down.
Yeah, so. Mine's there, and I could grab him, but I know I knocked down about 20 figures at the same time. Usually,
I rearranged everything to get like all the Star Wars figures, but they're like committed to this.
There you go.
This nonsense.
Yeah, no, Hercules, like usually I do go two for the retro stuff, but with the Avengers ones, I never brought two because they were like, especially wave one of the retro wave, it was mainly figures we already had, so I never brought two sets and I just kept them on card. Same with wave 2. I do think wave 2 has some decent figures though, like the Blue Wasp, which was a little nod to the very rare Blue Wasp of the Toy Biz days. The Vision in there is very nice with the cool little Ultron head.
That Hawkeye as well, that was like, everyone bought that, didn't they? I mean, if you had like two of them, you could make a fair bit on that.
Yeah, so I actually managed to get that Hawkeye on retro card for £3 from Forbidden Planet. I had like a tiny dink in the plastic and it was just sat on the counter like with a sticker on it, and I was like, are you serious? £3? Yes, I will buy this. So Hawkeye was the only one I got two of.
I beat you today because I just managed to get a Fortnite G.I. Joe Snake Eyes for free.
What? Oh, because of, do you know what? Tom, Mini Plastic Multiverse, he messaged me telling me this. That's
on the
got
Discord as well, to be fair to Tom, yeah.
that's got to be a glitch, though, right?
Well, we've all managed to buy one, so they seem to be going through. So by the time me and Phil got it, it wouldn't let you just check out with that. You had to put something else in your basket. So I just checked like a baby order and then like cancelled the baby order. Like, I've still got a G.I. Joe coming, yeah.
Yeah, he did, to be fair, he did hit me up, but I just didn't. I just thought this is going to obviously backfire, so I didn't even bother. But for people who are curious, by the way, the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes that's crossed over with the Fortnite went back up for pre-order both in the US and the UK. But since this was the first time in the UK, for some reason it went up with a pre-order, but with no price attached. So you could check out and just pay shipping and essentially get a free figure. I'm sure they're going to go back in there and correct. Well, hopefully they won't. Maybe the people who got in there early enough might get lucky. But yeah, go and check out Hasbro Pulse UK. You may be able to get yourself a free Snake Eyes as long as you pay shipping. And if you're a premium Pulse member, you don't even have to pay shipping. Completely free Snake Eyes at the minute. So let's see how wise Hasbro get to that. But let's jump through some of these pictures of Hercules, because as I said, this was revealed Monday, I believe, this week with Marvel Monday. So we get two heads, two hands. I like that we get the fisted hands with Hercules. You sort of need to with that strong guy. And just the standard retro card. So the big take from me is the retro card. I wasn't expecting Hercules. I thought Hercules would be in some random Avengers wave or something. So usually when they give us a...
Who was expecting this retro card, Dan? Who was expecting this retro card?
Well, as I said, many people know that Rich puts the themes for our live streams together way in advance. And he's already done a whole stream on retro carded Avengers we need. Was Hercules in your list?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, there you go.
Tiger wasn't, but Hercules was.
Yeah, there you go. So Rich predicted it. So we should have. You said yourself we should have done that stream like last week, and we would have been ahead of the game. Oh well.
I think we've copied now again. Never mind. No,
definitely no copying, people. All right. There's only so many topics you can talk about. I'm sure other people are going to hit the same topics at some point. Okay, let's do a quick hit and miss actually on this Hercules, because again, we haven't talked about this on the stream yet, and I am very curious to see what people think on the retro card, see if that makes a difference. To some people it does make a difference. I don't know if I'll be buying one or two, because I'm fine with the Hercules I got on my shelf. I know he's a bit more modernised, but I don't know. Do I need to? The answer's no, I'm sure, but will I buy two? Probably, because I'm an idiot.
Just like his classic look as well, isn't it? That's what I think with this one. It's like, this is the one I think a lot of people have wanted. So
I need a bigger wall. This room's so tiny, literally. Like I've got the Spider-Man stuff up there, but I've got no room for like anything else. So like, if I was gonna start, my missus would kill me if I started putting anywhere else.
Like, is it flat on the ceiling? You could like.
Do you know what it is?
When you're a kid, you put posters on it.
Do you know what it is? You know, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? But knowing my look, I'd be sat here doing a stream, and a legend would just fall and knock me out, and then we're just left streaming with me unconscious. That would definitely be what happened. I did. So okay, let me jump to the chat real quick. Okay, so Jamie kicks us off with a hit. I always appreciate the channel members using those. A special hit and miss emojis, bonus points. Tony Collectus is hit. Phil Jones with a triple hit. Jay on the grind hit. Jason Lopez hit. Gareth hit. George W hit, but I won't get to. That's fair. Antonio says hit. Joe figured it out, says miss, but buying it anyways. That's a hit then, right? You can't say you're not. If you buy it, it's a hit. I only got one. Keep on retro card. Yeah, I think I get. And again, that's what I'll be doing. Getting out of FOMO. Tanner says 2 please hit. Omega Weapon says buying 300 Hercules is for 300 customs. That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
a lot of work. But it is a pretty decent base body, I guess. Jamie says managed to order him without adding anything else. Oh, I suppose he's talking about Snake Eyes there. Cameron says hit. Mini Plastic Multiverse says hit. Abnugler says since I already have the other one, I'm probably going to miss, though if this one came out before, I'd buy this one over the modern one. Well, that's how the toy companies get you. They give you the less desirable figure first, get the mold made, and then you know you're going to eventually get. They've done it with all the X-Men. It's their master plan. It's the toy business, people. If toy companies gave you the most iconic, best version of the character first, you'll never buy the version no one wanted second. It's how the game works. Strider said hit for now. Cameron Wright says trying to complete all the retro cards, and then J Toys Collection says hit. So yeah, it's a hit from me. A hit from Rich. So we're happy with that. It's always good to talk about new toys. But swinging the subject back to Fan First Friday real quick. There's the graphic. There it is. I do want to briefly go over Dan Yun's tweet because someone already brought it up in the chat earlier and Brandon read it out. So me and Rich can dissect this now and see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay, where is it? Okay, so he says, yo, just setting expectations. We will not have a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive items. Makes sense. San Diego Comic-Con isn't technically happening. Yes, they're having some online stay at home, but the event itself is not currently happening in July. Yes, I know they're having a smaller one later. You know what I'm saying, though. The standard Comic-Con is not happening, so that makes sense. But we do have Retro Venom and MODOK plus the Captain 2-pack for PulseCon. Exactly what they did last year. They swerved and turned all the what was going to be San Diego Comic exclusives into PulseCon exclusives. So this year they're just going straight to PulseCon. Makes complete sense. He goes on to say, we will not be revealing a lot of items like we normally do at San Diego Comic-Con panel. Sad face. But we will have more than one live stream in July, which is what he already told us about. So for me, Rich, anyone who follows the collecting Marvel Legend world, this isn't breaking news to us. This is about what we expected. Would you agree?
Did we all expect Excalibur though? I think everyone thought the Excalibur was still come in as an SDCC pack. So like the fact that there's these two coming for PulseCon is perhaps not a shock, but it's perhaps more of a shock that Excalibur wasn't one of these two if they weren't going to do an SDCC pack.
Excalibur, he never says that they're the only two PulseCon packs.
Oh no, yeah, completely.
So Excalibur could still be revealed for another PulseCon. Just think this year they had a bit more heads up in regards to in what's happening in regards to the conventions and stuff, and they also now probably have the figures of how many people were buying this stuff, because just think last year loads of stuff had to go back up for pre-order for a second run in the March the following year. But this March, I think people are still waiting for their Hellfire sets from Pulse that they pre-ordered like last year. So they've probably understood I wouldn't be surprised, my point is, if they made more things a PulseCon exclusive this year, knowing the demand now.
And I think like you said about there maybe being more PulseCon, because I think a lot of people are saying, well, there's no MCU exclusive, but usually like for SDCC or like FanFest as well, they do some kind of movie tie-in. I know last year it was like the X-Men movie, obviously, because there was no Marvel movies out. But I think there's got to be more. There's got to be more. I mean, it's so far out as well. It's like 2 months till FanFest. They're not going to announce it all, and that's it. And we've got just 2 months to wait. Do you want to buy a MODOK?
What's the date again? What's the date for the FanFest, for the PulseCon?
Did they announce it? Oh, they did in like Transformers. Oh, it's. I
think they announced it. I think they announced it's happening, but I don't think they announced a date. If my memory serves me right, so they announced that PulseCon is happening again, but I don't think they technically gave a date yet. If you know in the chat, please remind us. But it's still nice to know it's happening. Was it September then last year it happened, Rich, or was it August?
It was, I think, August. Was it late August last year?
I'm guessing, again, just off the top of the head, I'm guessing August, which is crazy that we're nearly in August 2021 now. It's absolutely madness.
It's not FanFest, is it? It's HasCon.
Yeah, HasCon, yeah, Hasbro PulseCon, yeah. Yeah, FanFest was something different. Let me jump to the chat real quick. If it is Galactus are fantastic, now I have to decide if I want to, says Nasa. Jan the Grind says Galactus for sure. Your boy's got toys, says anyone else get the invoice for the Fizzlin custom capes today? I don't know what that is, your boy's toys, unfortunately. Garrett says Hasbro screwed up so much with the orders of these exclusives. Didn't tons of people get duplicate Logan sets? I didn't, but fair play if you did. J Toy Collection UK says no date, and then it was September last year as well, so thank you very much. So yeah, there you go, expect it September again, which makes sense. So yeah, Excalibur revealed before the end of July, do you think?
I'm not too sure, because I don't know. I mean, like they've still got something to reveal tomorrow, and they've said we've got another Fan First Friday coming this month. So obviously, hopefully, maybe HasLabs tomorrow, and then maybe something later on. I don't know. Would you do a HasLab and reveal Excalibur set in 1 month? Or
I don't know. We've all said that. I think we said it on Legends and Liquor as well. Go and check out the playlist. Watch Legends and Liquor from the weekend. But we were basically saying that the 2 Fan First Fridays, one of them's got to be the HasLab. And again, this is just because they've told us to expect something big. They've told us that the second HasLab is going to be revealed before the Sentinel ships in August. We're in the middle of the July. Just makes sense. And then the other one is probably going to be the What If Marvel Legends. We sort of know. Some of them have been leaked. We know we don't like talking about leaks in here, but the leaks are out there of the What If Marvel Legends. And they have officially revealed Sylvie as well from Loki, who's technically part of that Disney Plus wave 2, which is the What If wave. So, and they showed off more pictures of her today as well, which makes me think they must have promo shots of the rest of that wave too. So I reckon if Galactus is tomorrow, and then whether it's next Friday or the Friday after, it's going to be What If figures. That's what I think, with a few reveals in between, like army builders maybe.
They've got like 3 started waves now, haven't they, left to reveal? Because they've got that one, like you said, the What If wave.
Yeah.
They've got the Spider-Man wave as well. They've released the movie figures from that. And they've also got the retro Fantastic Four where they've shown Human Torch off.
That's true,
yeah. So it's like 3 started waves. So it's kind of like... Although I think they haven't technically said where Human Torch is coming from. We're just basing that on...
There's again, like, there's leaked Amazon lists out there now as well. Like, we know... Again, we knew this anyway. This isn't rocket science. When they released Retro Doom last year in that fancy card, which was a throwback to the Fantastic Four figures in the Toy Biz days, we knew it was inevitable that we're going to get more from that. I even asked them that in one of my interviews, and they said that none of the retro cards are like stopping, like they can all continue. And again, Hercules this week is an example. Like, we may not have a full wave of the grey carded retro cards, but here's a random figure. And they've been doing it with Spider-Man throughout the year. As I said, I've got plenty of room. I've got like 4, well, I ain't got 4 orders, but there's 4 single figures all ready to go on the shelf that I'm just like waiting to fill the space. I just hope I manage to get a Venom. I'm surely going to be able to get a Venom, right? They're not going to sell out on Pulse.
If Hercules, right, even though he would never be because he's got no business being on, but if he was on a Spider-Man retro card, would you have bought 2?
That is a weird one, isn't it? Because I'm a sucker for the Spider-Man retro card, but every character I've got on the wall has been on the Spider-Man animated show to some degree. Hercules never was, but I don't know. I think I couldn't. No, I couldn't. Maybe
like Age of Apocalypse Wave 3 on Spider-Man retro cards. Just,
do you know what? That's one wave. Again, I feel like I've got deja vu because I said this with the first wave, and then I ended up going back and getting it. But I've not pre-ordered Age of Apocalypse Wave 2. Like, the wave looks great, Age of Apocalypse, but I've not pre-ordered it. I'm gonna just sort of feel it out, wait and see what happens.
See, I ordered a case because I thought they all look great apart from Iceman when they did those renders.
Yes.
But then looking at them now, Iceman looks really good, and I'd say Kitty Pryde is like the dog's dinner of it.
Yeah.
She doesn't look as great anymore.
I don't like that look for Kitty Pryde either. She just looks like a knockoff version of X-23. Do you know, like?
But it would have been before X-23, but I love that look for Kitty because in Age of Apocalypse she dies. Spoilers. Yes. Team Jubilee, come on.
I will read that one day. Same with House of X, Powers of X. I've literally just... I've got trade paperbacks down here that I've still not even read, like literally at my feet. I'm just so slow. Which one? Let me just pull out one at random. Let's see if Rich has read it. Okay, what have I got? I think which one's volume 1? The Avengers. Okay, I got Avengers.
The Jason Aaron run, is it the new run?
Yeah, this is from about 2018, I think it is. This is volume 1 and 2.
This is the latest run. It starts off quite good. Gets a bit boring towards the middle, but it's picked up again. They did like a Heroes Reborn crossover, so it's really good. A lot of people not happy with She-Hulk in this, but
okay,
can't please everyone, can you?
She actually looks like the She-Hulk figure I've just brought.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
She is like she's like much bigger in it, so I think a lot of people are not too happy. She becomes much more like Hulk, so she's like more dumb than being like brainy like Jennifer is.
Oh,
so I'm sure
took away a key point from that makes her unique from the Hulk.
Yeah, but I'm sure with the TV show next year they'll end up going back to that version. So everything changes. Nothing's forever in comic books. That's why don't sweat it. Just stop reading it for a bit. It'll come back to what you like.
All right, we just hit triple figures, so people are clearly here to see you, Rich. So let me put my lights on. Let me put the lights on. This is the part of the stream where I always lose viewers because I'm an idiot turning around, pressing flashy lights on. I'm literally.
Look at the chat while you sort your lights out.
Please do. Saying?
So Skinny Boy is asking, when is the Fan First Friday? It is this Friday, tomorrow, Skinny Boy. Is it about 3 o'clock our time?
4, I think it's 4 p.m. And then 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. But that's off the top of the head. I could just be talking on my ass. I don't know.
There you go, Skinny Boy. Just add a Hasbro Pulse and then it'll like ping you when it's on. Jason Lopez says a lot of people really aren't liking the Jason Aaron's Avengers run. Yeah, no, I know a lot of people are saying that.
What a waste of money.
I'm thinking, it's like nearly 50 issues now, so I'm probably going to be like, there'll probably be a new team coming along soon. But Jason Aaron's usually really good. Like, his Thor run is one of the best Thor runs ever. Like, it's an amazing run. Jay the Grind is not a fan of the Age of Apocalypse. I haven't got my banning powers today because I can't reach my keyboard. So you're lucky. To Catch a Legend says, more British. More British what? More British us? More British? More British!
I was like, do you want me to go and get some crumpets or something?
I took my glasses off for 1 second. I don't know, I can't read, sorry. Phil Jones is showing traffic light or disco lights for the disco. And then Skinny Boy says, that's exciting to know, thank you. And Jason Lopez says it's 101 viewers now. Oh yeah, for Brandon, all crying now into their tissues.
Yeah, that's why we're back down again. We're back down to the high 90s again. They seen Brandon wasn't here and buggered off. Oh well. Mini Plastic Multiverse says, do you think that the UK will get screwed on the HasLab price with all the recent price hikes on Hasbro Pulse exclusives? Which is a very fair question. So again, just to remind people, I haven't really had the opportunity to speak to their Hasbro team on this, and I will if I get the opportunity. But I don't think it's necessarily a question they might be able to answer. I do think this goes above them. But basically, the UK at the minute, leaving the EU and Brexit and all of this, means it's a little bit more difficult to get things here and more expensive to get things across our border, I assume. And I'm assuming, this is just me talking out my ass, I could become wrong, I'm just thinking out loud, but I'm assuming the UK conversion rate isn't just straight up conversion. They have to add extra cost on due to maybe because just think the UK, England itself is smaller than most US states. Do you know what I mean? And they've got to ship things separately to us. Where in the US, they can ship things to the West Coast and just get them on trucks and take them all around the US. Where in the UK, we're a whole separate island. So we get less stock, which means I don't know. Again, I'm just chatting out my ass. I'm trying to justify a big £1 million corporate business, and
I'm completely disagreeing with everything you said. Last year, whatever that price was with Xavi took a cut of that, right? Because they were like a middleman. Yeah, that's what you pay them. This year, if they send it on Pulse, then there's no middleman. That money is going to them. So if it's a Galactus the same size as a Sentinel, it should not be any more money than that Sentinel. And if it is, you can stick a Galactus on your planet. I don't want it.
Yeah, I always try and play devil's advocate in this situation and try and find both sides of the story, but it has been weird. Like if you look at the US price of like the MODOK 2-pack with Captain, for example, and then look at the UK price, it is like an extra. Exactly, it's more money. It costs more money, and that's with a straight conversion, which doesn't make sense. Like the conversion should be whatever it is in pounds, not plus an extra 30 quid for us. So, which is very frustrating because MODOK, I don't need Alvis MODOK, but I would have liked to be able to just get Captain and maybe sell the MODOK on. But at that price, I don't think I'd be able to make any money back. It'll be like. Yeah, be an expensive Captain figure because I'll have the other. But Amanda's already banned me from buying that Alvis MODOK. She hates the MODOK I've got on the shelf already. Like, she genuinely hates poor MODOK. I've created him a little disco shelf for his own. I'm literally in the middle of rearranging the display. But I think this is a solid. This is definitely going to be in my top 10 of the year, just for character aesthetics alone.
Well, I was talking to Tom, Mini Plastic Universe on Discord earlier though, and we were just like, I'm like Galactus. I've got a price in my head of what I won't go above. But there's also like, depending on what the tiers are, what the add-ons are, I'm like, do I need a Galactus? Where am I going to put it? Because I haven't got a Fantastic Four display, so it's like, do I really need it? But then it's like Tom was saying, like those Galactuses are already selling for double what people paid for them. So essentially, if you order 2 Galactuses, you've got that Galactus for free, and then you can flip it in a year's time. But then there's the thing that are more people going to buy them, and are they not going to go for as much then in a year's time? Is it going to be like you can only get £100 for it, and you'll cry yourself to sleep? It's
like, the Sentinel was the first one, so again we had nothing to compare it against. Where the Sentinel, and it happened during a pandemic as well. I'm sure there was lots of people that wanted it, but just at that time couldn't get it for whatever reason, and very fair reasons as well. Again, I just think that was unfortunate timing for Hasbro. They could have guessed. I guess they could have held off, but again, it's a big business. But I think this time around, people, because if it is a Galactus, right? Again, we're assuming no one knows for sure, but if it is Galactus, you don't need 2 Galactuses, right? It's not an army builder. So if people are buying 2, they're buying the second one with intentions to sell on, maybe, because some of these HasLab prices have gone crazy. But if everyone's doing that, and then in a year's time when we've all got our Galactus, or 3 years for us, but when we've all got the Galactus, everyone's trying to sell their second one, no one's going to pay the crazy prices people are assuming. Like, Sentinel, I think, is a unique situation. And it's a Sentinel. You have plenty of reason to buy another. Like, you may already have 2 and you may want a third. Where with Galactus, it's a smaller bracket. Shout out Cameron Wright, the super chat.
Cameron Wright donated
Friday's reading that out for me.
$4.99. $350, $400 is fair for Galactus IMO. If the tiers knock it out of the park, then that's great as well.
Yeah, so Cameron says $350 to $400 is fair Galactus in my opinion. If the tiers knock it out of the park, then that's great as well. Yeah, so again, the Hasbro team, the only thing they have said, and I'll quote, Ryan Ting says, Sentinel-esque would be fair, okay? And the Sentinel was 350 quid. Now, including that with the price hike that the UK seemed to be getting at the minute that you and Tom were talking about, and again, I'm assuming this has got to be bigger than the Sentinel. So it has to, even if it is just this sort of helmet that takes him bigger, I do think it will be bigger than the Sentinel. Are we thinking £400? £450? What's your predictions? Get it now on the record, Rich. What's your prediction? If it is Galactus,
I just think like 350 is kind of like my limit on these. Whatever I think, I just thought maybe 400. If it was, but like with the tiers last year, it was kind of generic, wasn't it? So it was like a Prime Sentinel female and like a Prime Sentinel male, but you had the Bastion. So you kind of had Bastion. That's like the only character. So I've seen people saying like if it's Heralds, like I mean, if they do like I don't know if they do Teract, but maybe they could do like Firelord,
the Airwalker.
Yeah, Airwalker, those kind
Stardust,
of things.
Annihilation, Red Swift.
Some other people were saying, like the Ultimate, so that was the Team Galactus was on in the 616.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Blue Marvel, America Chavez, if they did those...
That'd be sneaky, wouldn't it? That would be...
And, like, Blue Marvel has been one that a lot of people have wanted. I mean, like, I think America, you'd probably get another figure down the line, because obviously she's come into the MCU. But I think if that was the way they put out Blue Marvel, that might... like entice people in through that way. But the same, like people collect different things. Like we know, like Rectangular loves the cosmic people. So I mean, if they put in like the Heralds, maybe that'll convince people like that who like the cosmic universe to pick this up that maybe we wouldn't have as well.
Yeah, Jamie said the price is right. Dan Who edition. I'm guessing 375. Okay, so let's go on the record, people. Let me read a couple of these out. What are your predictions for the HasLab price? Okay, I'll read a couple out, and then we'll see. We've got it on record to see who was spot on. We've started off with a couple of people. Phil Jones says 365. Mini Plastic Multiverse says the price on the barge and the Unicron aftermarket says HasLab always go up in value. It's true. So far, it is very true. Tana says, I am not going above 400, which is, it's crazy that we're even having these conversations. Mini Plastic Multiverse says 395. Jamie says 375. Golden Oldie, i.e. Aunt May, is a Herald. I don't think she technically was a Herald, but it was... If there's an add-on, I'll take it. George says, I have a feeling it'll be 450. Daniel S says, no way it's less than 500. The PS5 is 500, and that sounds like crazy. Cameron Wright says, I'm saying 380 shipped, but he's saying dollars. For us in the UK, that would be about 450, if the conversion rate's fair. Nathan says, I'd say maybe 380, 390. I'd like to be. I would like worth that price. Omar says 600. Bloody hell. Garrett says it's 399.99. Jay's Toys Collection UK says 400. Let's hope it's 40 quid, Jay. Fucking hell. Stridon says 375. Doombot says I'll go 400. I'm waiting for someone to crack that Price is Right joke where they go, I say 300 and a penny. 401p, Dan. Sentinel repaint with a Galactus head. I wouldn't be surprised if they did reuse parts, but it's going to be so well hidden. Who knows? We haven't even got the Sentinel yet. Jason Lopez says 500 to 750. Bloody hell, 750. Ian says I guess it's 400. Home Dude 400. Matt W says 450 US dollars. I made it. Cloud Fox Wow. He says Walgreens was a wasteland. Unlucky, Cloud. I was hoping you'd find me a Mystique. Rush McGann says $400 dollars. Right, okay. Laserpants says $9 jillion. He'd still buy 5 of them. He'd still buy 5. He'd still sell pieces of his collection, and somehow that man would get $9 jillion 5 times and buy it. He's a clever guy, that Laserpants. He's got 5 Sentinels. Laserpants is going to be... Do you know that scene in Breaking Bad where those guys just roll back on that, lie on that money? That's going to be Laserpants when he sells about 3 of his Sentinels just for laughs. He was a clever man. Okay, so yeah, by the way, the missus is listening. So when I say these numbers, we are talking pounds. Not
pence.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you, Rich. Pence. 450 pence.
You never know if that Snake Eyes rate's still going. Maybe it'll be free when it goes up for Pulse tomorrow. Just the cost of a baby Yoda.
Yeah, as I said, at least this time it'll be on Hasbro Pulse. Again, I just got this sinking feeling that we're going to get done over by Zavi. Like, these Sentinels are going to they're not going to understand what these are, and they're just going to whatever.
Yeah, well, mine's going to Aberystwyth, so that's going to be a fun week for that.
Yeah. Just sat outside in a camper chair. Omar says, "Can I get $1, Bob?" I'm assuming Bob was American version of Bruce Forsyth. Doombot says, "I still need Mystique too." Yeah, she's hard to get. She was a great Walgreens exclusive. Laserpants says, "I would sell pieces of my body."
Foot? Anyone for a foot?
Yeah, do you know? Go up and mug Jeff Bezos. Yeah, do you reckon he's just wandering around the street with a $9 jillion in his pocket without security? I'm sure he's probably in a spaceship right now. Him and Richard Attenborough are like trying to race to the Mars or something at this point. It's ridiculous. Rich people games, eh? We're arguing about can we afford a bloody Galactus that hasn't even been revealed yet, and these guys are on their way racing to Mars. So rich people, world people is a different game. Okay, we've talked about the potential Galactus that hasn't even been revealed as a Galactus for far long enough. Let's
just to ask one question to everyone.
Yeah, go on.
Right, so if they say tomorrow it's not Galactus, what does everyone want it to be from the Fantastic Four? If they say straight away we're not doing Galactus, is out, what does everyone want?
A giant Stretch Armstrong Reed Richards. Just like a massive Reed Richards. Just why not? No one wants the Fantastic car. No one, unless it's the bathtub version and they actually want to bath in it.
It's like what else can they do though? I still think that issue 1 maybe tribute like with the big monster and them in the civilian costumes. That would
Mole Man.
do well, I think, with like the retro cars.
Did Mole Man have like a big vehicle as well, like a big thing dug him out the ground, or am I just thinking Turtles?
I think Turtles. He just had that the big Moloid monster.
Okay.
Like rose from the ground and then he was like on top of it with his big stick.
Laserpants says $9 jillion plus shipping. Sounds fair. Sounds fair. Jeff says Fantastic car. George says 2005 movie Fantastic Four figures. Imagine that.
Jessica Alba for everyone.
The Baxter building would be great. Like, I don't think. Do you know what?
It's just a 4 on a skyscraper. It's
a dio. It's a display piece, isn't it? Like, if they do a dio, which is you can take off a side panel to reveal like a lab and some chambers, and like I could have that as a like freestanding display. Like, we've not really talked about that as an option. Because I don't think it is that, but I'd take that over a flying bathtub. Do you know, like, unless it's an actual flying bathtub, unless it's a bathtub that I can bath in and also get me to work, then I'd pay the then I'd pay the $9 jillion.
Like over Coventry.
Yeah, in UK pounds though, that $9 jillion would be like $10 bajillion for us with the exchange rate at the minute. Any other suggestions? Avengers Tower. They've already told us it's Fantastic Four related, Jamie, but Avengers Tower would be a great idea, possibly. But we know it. I'd rather have the Daily Bugle. Yeah, like that Lego set that came out recently.
That looked nice.
It does. Again, stuff like that I love. I can't dive into that Lego world. I've got the Simpsons. There was a phase. I did go through a phase of buying Lego, but I had to quickly get out because that's more expensive than Marvel Legends. Trust me, you've got to be a rich-blooded. Hot Toys and Lego collectors are rich-blooded.
This is how bad I am because I was like that Lego, like Daily Bugle, oh whatever. Then they put 5-star in it. I was like, oh, should I get it for 5 stars? Like, it's not a good idea. I was like, no, just walk away.
Just one of those bootleg minifigures that you see at toy conventions. I could probably sell bootleg minifigures of us lot at this point. See us in a booth at the next convention if the UK have any good ones. What are people saying? Jamie says Giant Man. Daniel S says a diorama of this Sanctum Sanctorum and Woodby Baxter Bleecker Street Mansion. Again, we already know the one tease they've gave us is that it's big and it's Fantastic Four themed, and they played like ominous music. So I don't think it's going to be Doctor Strange's house. Well, it's not his house, but you know what I'm saying. Ego the Living Planet 1/1 scale. Let's just all go. Basically, the HasLab is you pay to go and live on Ego the Living Planet, and we start our own. That would be a crazy world, wouldn't it? Just full of collectors. X Mansion. People are just saying anything now. It has to be Fantastic Four related, people. What Fantastic Four related item would you like the HasLab to be? Yes, all these suggestions are great. Trust me. But what Fantastic Four related item? Life-size Ultimate Nullifier. That actually does what the Ultimate Nullifier does. That would be dangerous. Fantastic Lab, says Doombot. Jamie says Tanner. Tanner is the HasLab. No, I think he's laughing at something Tanner said. What did Tanner say? Ego Living Planet. Oh yeah, he's laughing at that. That's fair. Fing Fan Foom. You'd know better than me, Rich. I know he's an alien from space that just looks like a mythic dragon because he landed in China in ancient times. But did he have much to do with Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I think he's fought the Fantastic Four a couple of times, I'm sure.
Could be then. Could be a giant Fing Fang Foom. George W says Thanos Copter. I wish.
They fought the Fantastic Four in Marvel Monsters Fing Fang 4. There we go.
Fing Fang 4. There you go. Could be. Dragon Man big enough to warrant a HasLab? Says Matt. Is Dragon Man big enough to warrant a HasLab? Says Matt.
Probably not big enough, but Dragon Man is well overdue. That would be a nice deluxe figure.
Ryan Cummins says Doom's Castle.
Ooh, that would be nice. Like that SDCC that year with the walls were broken and they had all that display. That did look good, actually.
Doom's Castle's a great shout. Giant Doombot, says Tanner. He's never had has he had a giant mech bot before?
Like a Power Ranger.
Like a Power Ranger Megazord. Did Dr. Doom, did Victor Von Doom have a Power Ranger Megazord at some point? Is the question I'm asking you, Rich.
I don't think so, but it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Marvel's probably writing it down now.
Yeah. What's Laserpants say? How about a Dio of Bofa? What's Bofa? Am I missing something? Bofa?
How about a Dio of Bofa?
Is that a reference I'm missing?
Bofa. Does he mean Bova, the high evolutionary's cow servant woman?
Maybe he does. Maybe. Sounds like something Laser Pants would pick, let's be honest.
I don't know. Bofa.
Shout out Andy Davis and Tim with the pow.
You just explained what Bofa was.
Oh, idiot. I wouldn't pay $9 jillion for that.
I'm
Idiot.
sorry, Brandon. That's very bad. Do not post that, please. Anyway.
Yeah. Brandon would be ashamed. He'd be embarrassed of your laser pants. The Life Raft from Secret Wars 2015 says Doombot, another great choice. The Doomazord says Abnugler. Okay, great ideas. Lavarian Throne Room says Phil Jones. Another great idea. I actually like the idea of the castle more than the Baxter building, maybe.
The Doom Castle would be good. You could have like a throne. You could have like, a statue of him. Just be really good.
That Marvel Select throne that came with the Doom Select, like that goes for more than the Doom figure. It's stupid. Have you seen it on eBay? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Say both of these nuts. There you go. Both of these nuts. I said it out loud. I obviously purposely didn't say it, but now I did. Just because you're Sir Laser Pants and you are this month's highest contributor, and I appreciate you. Jubilee or Day. Okay, right. Let's talk about some. Okay, let me ask a question. Actually, let me put a poll in the group, and let's see if we want to talk spoilers. I have got a spoiler warning ready. Do you want to see it, Rich?
Let's have a look.
Look at that. Look at the type of high-tech graphics you get on this stream.
Whoa.
So we are ready for spoilers if we want to, but I will ask the question in the chat, and the majority wins. Okay, so I'm going to ask the chat: should we talk spoilers for Loki and Black Widow? Is the question I'm going to ask the chat, and as I said, majority wins, people. Okay, if you want to, the majority of you want to talk spoilers, then me and Rich are going to go crazy. Should we talk spoilers for Loki and Black Widow? Simple.
Black Widow, everyone's had a week now, haven't they?
Yeah. Again, we live in that world where if you're a fan of these things, you have to sort of watch them. Like, it annoys me, trust me. I like to watch things at my own pace. So this is the type of world that even annoys me. But unfortunately, it is the world we live in. Unless you just want to avoid the internet. But the world's online these days. It's just the way the world has changed. Like, okay, I'm asking the community, people. I'm asking the community. The question has been asked. Okay, so we'll give it a minute or so, and then we'll go for majority. So the question is now in the chat. So if you were here live, there's over 100 people here. Me and Rich basically want to go crazy and talk spoilers of Loki and Black Widow. Again, we want to hear your opinions. I've definitely got strong opinions on both. So yeah, let's go with majority. And in the meantime, me and Rich will fill this gap with some small talk.
Well, without spoilers then, which did you enjoy it most? The Loki series or Black Widow the movie? Which one did you enjoy the most out of those two?
I think that's an unfair question, because Loki is like if it's all condensed down, would you say it's about 4 hours, just under 5 hours?
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours.
And for me, I always prefer content. Do you know, like, so, and so there was the things that annoyed me in Black Widow did annoy me a lot. So I'd say I think I preferred Loki, even though I was more excited for the Black Widow movie. But I think because of all the delays, and we felt like we had seen the film after watching the trailer for so long, the twists and turns were predictable. So I do think just after genuinely seeing both now, I'm actually more curious to rewatch Loki and catch all the extra things.
See, I'm the other way. I like Black Widow a lot, and I would say Loki is probably the MCU show that I've liked the least in all overall.
I agree with that, though. This is the thing. So I was having this, I can't remember who I was in this conversation with, but out of the three, it's constantly changing between WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I can't decide which one I like the most. I've really enjoyed both of them. It's exactly what I wanted from Disney Plus, a continuation of these characters, long content MCU. Again, some of my characters I would have handpicked to have a TV show about would people like Wanda and Falcon, and they both got their own headline shows, which is crazy. So yeah, for me, constantly flip-flopping between them. And I wasn't excited at all about Loki. I didn't understand what they were going to do after Infinity War, but the trailers got me a little bit more intrigued. So I was genuinely excited for Loki. But out of the three, it's probably my least favourite Disney Plus show. Shout out the new subscriber, whoever that was. It popped up on screen.
That's it, Van Enturio. Maybe he's in Italian.
There you go.
Congratulate everyone.
Oh, Italian. Is that why he's here, is it? All right, trying to kick me while I'm down, people. All right, we got to the final. That's what matters. I'm still happy. Let's not relive it. I've already lived it. It wasn't nice. Okay, we've had 2 minutes. We've had 35 votes. 35 votes. Are you all far from your keyboards or something? There's over 100 people watching live. Right, me and Rich want to talk spoilers on Loki and Black Widow, and only 35 of you have hit yes or no. The chat box of this very live stream you're watching has a question. All you have to do is click yes or no. You don't even have to type. You just have to wiggle your mouse. So if you are near, let's see if we can get that up a few more votes, and then we will go. But so far, the percentage is 82% say yes. So it's still quite strong. So unless we have a flood of people saying no, we're going to be talking spoilers in a few minutes. I can't wait to event. I've tried to
You can put, if we do it, you can put up your little graphic anyway, and then pull it off when we start talking about it, so people will know.
49 weeks of super chats, and this is what I spent it on. The spoiler graphic.
It's amazing, man.
See? It's expensive stuff, this graphic design business.
Oh, wrong way. No, wait.
There you go. We're on 43 votes. Once we get to 50 votes. All right, 7 more people. Come on now. 7 more people. Hit that yes or no. Let's see what we're saying. 77. So a few more people have put no, unfortunately. As I said, I will keep this spoiler warning up to keep the conversation going. A
couple of people have said, like Jerry has said, and Dr. Simon has said that they're indifferent. They don't mind, so they don't care. Okay, cool. So,
I don't think anything we're going to talk about is going to ruin your experience of any show. I really don't. I don't think anything particularly happened in any show that's going to be like, oh my God, I needed to see that live. Do you agree?
Yeah. Especially with Black Widow, because I mean, you know that Natasha's got to be alive at the end of it, so I don't think that's a spoiler for anyone. Do
you know what? I'm going to give you as a spoiler for free, right? And I'm not even going to put the warning up, right? Red Guardian figure, right? We've got a Red Guardian figure twice now. We've even got a figure of the Red Guardian figure with the Red Guardian figure, yeah? All right, Inception. Both of them have his shield. Do you remember seeing his shield in the show? In the film?
No.
Doesn't even have a shield! My toy is still inaccurate.
But in his days of Rush, battling Captain America, that's when he had his shield.
He threw a shield, but I don't think it was his. Okay, we got 50 votes. 76% have said, let's talk spoilers. So we're going to do it, people, all right? Ending the poll. The poll is now officially ended. Thank you to everyone who contributed. 51 people. Half of the people watching can reach a keyboard. I appreciate that. Let's put this expensive warning graphic up. There you go. Super chat money well spent. Spoiler warning is now in effect. So what do you want to talk about first? Loki or Winter Soldier? You're my guest. You choose. Winter Soldier. Loki or Black Widow? You're my guest. You choose.
Should we go with Black Widow first because that's shorter? So
okay. Okay. Let's do it. Let me put some graphics on the screen. Okay, people. We're about to get into some Black Widow conversation. So again, I genuinely, hand on heart, don't think anything we're going to say spoilery is going to ruin your experience if you haven't seen it. Because a lot of it's predictable. If anything, I'm going to tell you things, and if you watch it knowing it's happening, it might not hurt you as much as it did me. So I might be doing you a favour, to be honest. But yes, let's talk Black Widow. It was meant to come out back in March of 2020. It got delayed due to COVID, unfortunately. So it came out July 9th via the cinema and, of course, Disney Plus with the premium access, which was 20 quid, was it, Rich?
Yeah, 20 quid.
20 quid, yeah. So there you go. You had options. If you didn't feel safe going to the cinema, you can watch it from the comfort of your own home without people eating cheesy nachos next to you. And I'm happy to report that nobody was eating cheesy nachos when I went and watched Black Widow, thankfully, because I wouldn't have been happy, Rich. That would have ruined it right there and then.
Two old ladies were found outside the nacho stand when they were like punches to the face.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about it. So, Rich, summary, Black Widow, overall thoughts, favourite parts, things you didn't like. Let's go for it.
I thought the Black Widow movie was a very good MCU movie. It wasn't the best, but it felt like a safe bet, a safe standard MCU movie. Like that, it just felt nice to come home to that after like 2 years off. I thought it was a good MCU movie.
A grounded MCU movie, yeah.
It was a very good. It's a story that it doesn't tie in too much to anything else. It's very standalone, but it gives a lot of depth, I think, to Natasha sets up Black Widow, and it's a nice rounding off of this story because obviously in Endgame, Natasha is not going to be part of the MCU anymore. Maybe a variant will now. Who knows?
Do you know what? The floodgates are open now, isn't it? Tony Stark's back in the next film and everything. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I thought it was a very good story, a very good send-off. I thought Scarlett Johansson was really good in it. The action scenes, the fight scenes were well done. Like the bit in the prison where they rescued the Red Guardian, I thought that was brilliant. It was very funny as well. It had very Florence Pugh was like really funny in it as Yelena. She had a really dry sense of humor, and the same with Melina as well. Like I thought all that family unit that they had, I thought it was like it wasn't something I was expecting, and I thought it was very well put together.
Yeah, I was present. I genuinely really liked the family dynamic of Black Widow. Like I had no issues at all with anyone associated with Black Widow on the good sort of guy side.
Just the other family unit you had a problem with, yeah,
just the other family unit. So my overall thoughts is I like the sort of more grounded MCU world. Like, don't get me wrong, I love going crazy with Ragnarok and stuff like that, but I just personally prefer the sort of more grounded stories. When I say grounded, it's hard to say that when we're living in a Marvel universe with superheroes and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like the ones where, like Winter Soldier is still one of my favourite films, and like you could argue that, yeah, the super soldier film, but there's no witches and wizards and aliens. Do you know? Like it's very street level. So I like those chapters of the MCU. As I said, I like it. It pulls it back down to earth. And I was excited. I love Scarlet Witch. I've always liked her as Black Widow, and I'm very happy that they did give her a film. Do you know, like we've all seen Endgame. We all know how her story ends. But like Rich said, there was a lot of gaps. Like we never had her own time to shine. She was always the side character to certain films. And I was very much looking forward to seeing a film led by her. What's her story? And this perfectly fills a gap. So this film takes place after Civil War, right? So right after Civil War, where they're literally on the run, right? So she's on the run on her own. She hasn't met up with Cap yet. She hasn't met up with Falcon. She's literally just doing her own thing. So it happens in between Civil War and it ends. It sort of sets up Natasha for Infinity War, because right at the end of this, again, spoiler alert, again, not like it matters, but right at the end of this, she gets the Quinjet that you see Cap and her and Falcon on later on in Infinity War. Falcon and Cap are not in this movie, by the way, but the Quinjet is, and she's got her blonde hair and her jacket, which is her sister's. And they crack so many jokes about that bloody jacket as well. But now we get it. Now it just means that a little bit more when you go to watch Infinity War, I guess. So yeah, it's set right in between those two films, and it's a standalone adventure with sort of Natasha tying up loose ends within her sort of story. And it also sort of says what happens at Budapest, but I was hoping personally for a flashback with Loki, with Hawkeye. Like I wanted to see some Hawkeye and Black Widow action in Budapest, but we didn't. We just got I guess we did get a flashback, but it wasn't of Hawkeye. Did we get? We got a flashback, didn't we? But it wasn't. It was just like of an explosion. It wasn't of.
Yeah, just sitting outside in a taxi.
Yeah, but they do loads of little nods to Hawkeye. Like says basically in one of these old apartments that Natasha used to hide out in, there's holes in the wall, and they're like, oh, what bullets are them? And she's like, no, that they're arrows, which are a little wink to Hawkeye, because Hawkeye was sent to get her, remember, and she deflected to Shield. So yeah, it was a gap, filled a gap, and I liked all her. But can we talk about the bit I really didn't like now, Rich? It's stressing me out.
Which is that bit you didn't like, Dan? What could that be? What could it be?
In the comics, right?
It's a task, isn't it?
I like what you did there. Okay, people. So now I'm going spoiler crazy, all right? So, and I'm sure, let me know if you agree or not. We'll read a couple out as we go through, okay? We have lost a few people, but that's understandable. They may not have seen the film. It's good. It's all good. Right, so in the comics, there's a character called Jason Masters, aka Taskmaster. He has photogenic reflexes, so he can basically copy something from watching it, right? It's a very cool power. I'd quite like it. You know, you can watch someone cook, you can watch someone martial arts, learn it straight away. Cool character. And I understand the MCU like to twist things. The MCU just takes inspiration from the comics. It doesn't have to be the same thing. I completely get that. But there's certain things that don't need to be changed. for the sake of changing them. And I think this was one of them where they wanted to change it so it was a big shock moment. Instead, it was a, oh, for God's sake moment. So they've basically revealed Taskmaster. And obviously Taskmaster's dressed to look like a guy. Like, it doesn't look like a female in that suit. But they did that on purpose. Because... Thank you very much to Thirsty for Chicken. Has just become a channel member as well. Hank is hidden there behind the spoiler alert warning. But Hank is there. Thank you very much, Thirsty Chicken. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Much, much appreciated, my friend. Much, much appreciated. So yeah, Taskmaster is not Tony Masters. It's Antonia, or what's it? Is it Antonia? What did they change her name to?
Antonia Drake.
Yeah, Antonia. And like, is it Antonia's like a little wink to Tony Masters, which makes me think that we're never going to see Tony Masters in the MCU now. It's going to be her. But instead of it being a cool character behind the costume, it turned Taskmaster into like a robe, like a characterless zombie woman robot. So instead of actually having photogenic reflexes, it's just a suit and like some tech in her neck or something. But she didn't talk. She was basically just a zombie lady. It was a zombie lady in a Taskmaster outfit. And it was just like, really? Like, it literally... Like, I was enjoying Black Widow. I think Ray Winston was terrible casting as that villain, by the way. Like, again, he's a British guy. I should be repping him. But I think it was terrible casting. Why couldn't they just cast a Russian actor to be this guy? Like,
but apart from David Harbour, all the Russians were English.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, but I liked Alexei in this. But Ray Winston was just like wasn't trying hard enough to be Russian. Do you know what I mean? It was clearly Ray Winston. It was ridiculous. I was tempted to bet on fucking Bet 365 or whatever he does. I was like, Ray Winston, when the betting stops, stop or whatever he does. But anyway, I was enjoying Black Widow. But then it's like my balloon got popped as soon as that reveal happened, because I was seeing it coming. Like Rich said the saying, he's seen it coming. But I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't. And it was just blatantly what we all thought. Black Widow thought she killed the daughter, but she didn't. Instead, the evil dad turned her into this mindless robot woman that they called Taskmaster. Miserable, terrible villain, terrible. Like Taskmaster, right? He's right on the front of my villains display, right? Up there, right? He's going straight to the back, all right? When the rearrange happens next week, Rich, he's going into the back of the display where he's a blur. Character's ruined for me in the MCU.
My issue with Taskmaster wasn't exactly the same as yours. So my issue was that this cat, when they revealed Taskmaster, when she took off her mask, I was just 5 minutes like, who's this?
Yeah.
Oh, someone's daughter. Like, because all signs, like everything that they seem to be doing, like for a reveal like that, it's got to be someone we know or someone that we care about. So I was like, right, it's either going to be Rick Mason, that the guy who was like helping Natasha get all the things, because like he seemed to be there, and then he would disappear when Taskmaster came on, or it was going to be Melina. That was going to be the big twist. Was like she'd been like brainwashed and was now being Taskmaster, because you didn't see Melina until you went on that farm with the pigs, and obviously like we didn't know, was she working with the enemy still? Was she not? So when it's just this random girl out of nowhere, it was kind of like, why? What has this got to do? They didn't build that backstory enough. Like if there had been like a scene with her and Natasha in the past or something, like you said, if they'd expanded that flashback more, we showed more of that, then you could be like, oh, okay, I understand this now. Even
if they showed like Natasha, because Natasha thought she killed her back in the day when she was a little girl. Even if they showed that Natasha didn't kill her and the girl survived, but she was like really wounded. Do you know, like then that gives you more of a little wink that she's alive and that character could exist. But like you said, in the flashback, they shown the girl walking up to the building and it just exploded. So like, we didn't, when that character got revealed, instead of us going, oh my God, it's her, you think, well, is it her? You got to tell us, because we've never seen this woman before in our life. So I completely get what you're saying.
But I think from your point of view as well, it's like, no, because everyone was like, this is not Taskmaster. This is not Taskmaster from the comics. Who's like quite a funny character. You know, he's like ruthless, but he's got like this, like he's quite
quirky.
He's kind of like a Deadpool kind of character. Like when at the end when they put the dust on everyone and got all the widows to come back, and they did it to Taskmaster as well. So she came round. She knew who she was. Like if she had just like said a joke or something to hint that maybe that's the direction
that she had some personality.
Yeah. It was just like. is he dead? Like, it was just like, I get that, because I think a lot of people, it's like, why use Taskmaster? Why not use a different character?
Exactly.
Or make up a character. It could have just been like a Silent Widow or something. Like, they could have just made up a character, Red Widow, Pink Widow, anything else. And I think that's what annoyed people, was it's like the loss now of that character in the MCU, like, who was quite a funny character. But that's not to say that they can't turn it around, because I think a lot of people have pointed out, like, this actress who played Taskmaster, who had like one line in the whole film, she is like a proper actress. She's done other things, and she is signed up for more movies as well. So maybe they will take it into that direction in the future.
Yeah, maybe the character can get redeemed, and if she does, I'll be on a live stream saying, "Do you know what? I like her now." But from just what I've seen, all I can say about Taskmaster is she was a mindless, emotionless, characterless zombie robot woman, and I guess that's what they wanted her to be. So if that's what they wanted her to be, then she played it to a T. But it was an enjoyable character. I think the reveal was terrible, and for me, that sort of, because I really, really disliked that, it took away my enjoyment from other parts of the film. But I do think the highlight of the movie is Florence Pugh, British actress, obviously hopefully going to continue now playing the sort of Black Widow role within the MCU, maybe takes on the mantle of Black Widow. No one called her Black Widow, but all the women in the Red Room are Black Widows, right? So I guess that she can be a Black Widow. And then the end credit scene, if we skip to that, was a bit underwhelming as well.
That was the only bit I didn't like of the movie, because I just thought, because it was like Natasha's movie, she's just got into that Quinjet to go off to Infinity War, and I was like a bit like material. I was like, there's Natasha's journey, that's done. And it was like, so instantly you're setting up a replacement to fight one of her best friendships with Kim Barton, and it was just like, why do this? I get why Contessa was there
Val,
to set it up. But I've spoken to Brandon about this. They should have just she should have gone, this is your next target, and they should have stopped it there. They shouldn't have shown Hawkeye or anything like that, because it's like, it was Natasha's story. It's like, why put there? Because we know as an audience that's not what happened to Hawkeye. We know Hawkeye did not kill Natasha, and it's just like, why put them into conflict straight away? That annoyed me.
I agree, and I've got a suggestion for a better post-credit scene. Okay, so this is what I think would have been a great post-credit scene. Natasha, obviously, right at the end of the film, you see her, she's got the blonde hair, she's got the jacket on, and she gets in the Quinjet, off she goes, right? Yeah. Obviously, we know where the rest of her story's going, so it's, as Rich said, it's quite sweet. Now we know, we've seen that gap. I reckon a post-credit scene would have been cool just to see her land the Quinjet and, pick up Cap and Falcon, and Cap was, proper Nomad style or whatever. Do you know, just seeing those two characters get picked up, because we know where the story's going, and it just would have been a nice little wink to the audience. Yes, it's not like anything reveals anything, but it's just a nice little wink to the audience, as in look, that's where she got them. Instead, like you said, we get this post-credit scene where you see Natasha's grave, and she's buried now in Ohio, I believe, where she spent some years undercover with her sister. Her sister had the dog as well. She did tease in the film that she wanted a dog. Fanny, yeah, she wanted a dog. And then, Val, ruins the sort of sentimental moment by just, blowing her nose, just getting her attention. I quite like the character Val. I'm curious to see more of her. But again, that shows you, and I think they have confirmed this, the first time we were ever meant to see Val was in this post-credit scene. So that when she turned up in Falcon and Winter Soldier, she'd already been slightly established in the movie. But instead, we got it the other way around, which I don't think hurt it too much, to be fair, because she didn't do much in the trailer. But it's clear that they work for somebody, because they asked for a pay rise, and then she says, me too. So they're working for someone. Is it General Thunderbolt Ross doing his own thing? Who knows? But we now know that Val's got relationships with Yana Belova and also US Agent. Who else is going to get involved?
And there's also still there's a story to tell with Elena as well, because it's she's gone from going off to save all the widows to now working for Contessa. So what's happened there, kind of thing as well? How has she gone on that journey to get there? So
do you think we're going to see Yana in Hawkeye next? Is that they've made that clear?
Yeah, that's what they've said. But from the way she's recruited the US Agent and now Black Widow, it's like a Thunderbolts Dark Avengers kind of vibe. That's what I'm getting.
Dark Avengers could be interesting. Doesn't have to be exactly like the comic. As I said, it could be its own MCU twist, and General Thunderbolt Ross could take the place of sort of Norman Osborn and sort of assemble his own sort of team. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Again, I just wanted to thank you for listening to me, people. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Ever since I seen Black Widow, that Taskmaster reveal like killed me. And again, I get that. I just don't like diversity for diversity's sake, and I do think they just changed Taskmaster to a female. My problem isn't that she's a female, right?
It's not Taskmaster, is it? It's the character.
It's like they just took the Taskmaster name and attached it to a character that had nothing. Just an emotionless zombie woman.
It's probably the biggest change to a character that they've probably done so far with Marvel Studios. I think so far removed from what the original character was. Like, not just about, like you said, not just about gender changes, but just like everything to do with the character. Like you said, Rob Pollock, I think, said like Taskmaster could have been a super adaptoid. Since they've just painted as speechless, emotionless anyway, and that wouldn't have changed the movie. And it's right, it could have just been something else. Why use that Taskmaster name? Because obviously he was going to build people up, and he was just going to upset people. I think there was like.
I get that not everyone likes him in the comics either, which is fair enough. I just think that ability is something that can be embedded into the MCU a lot easier than some other abilities, if that makes sense. Like, obviously we've got super soldiers. Maybe a variant of the super soldier serum, just give them heightened this photogenic reflex. Do you know what I mean? I think, again, obviously we have to break reality to even enjoy these films, but I just think his power is something that could have very easily been slipped into the MCU at that sort of grounded level that I like. And instead, I think, now it's just a chip in the back of her neck. Do you know? Yeah,
I think for someone else in the chat mentioned that like they set up like a Taskmaster protocol. So that's not to say that like this technology could end up with like a character that's more, maybe he'll steal it off this and take her name. I don't know, but like I mean, these things they could do to like we could still get that Taskmaster, because don't forget, like look at them, like the Mandarin, like that. Another Mandarin this year as well. So I think that they are quite aware that they can like change things around.
Which is right. In 9 years' time, we may get a reveal of a new Mandarin, just like we did with the Shang-Chi. We haven't even seen Shang-Chi yet, but we know there's a different Mandarin. No, 9 years' time, hopefully we get the Taskmaster that we deserve. Okay, let me. But other than that, again, I'm focused on the negatives just because I thought it was an interesting talking point. But overall, I did enjoy the film. Natasha's great. The whole family's great. Really liked Red Guardian. Definitely hope to see him again in the MCU. Don't really know where he's going to show up in the MCU, but he basically keeps talking about all these times he had with battles he had with Captain America, but apparently Captain America was already in the ice when he was running around, so he's basically just lying to people. And I'm sure Phil Jones would want me to mention as well that the guy, when he was arm wrestling people in the prison, the guy that he snaps the arm of in the prison doing the arm wrestling is called Ursa, as in Ursa Major, the giant bear from the Winter Guard. So I do think that's just a little credit nod. I don't think that's actually Ursa Major.
That guy is huge as well. He's like 7'2" in real life.
But isn't there like in the Deadpool movie, I know it's not MCU, but in Deadpool they put like Omega Red in the background. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a little nod to the audience, doesn't it? But still, I'd take a Winter Guard movie and put Yelena in the crew and Red Guardian's back in the frame. Is basically the Russian super soldier.
I'd like to see the three of them again. Like, I hope if they do a Yelena movie, they bring back Melina and they bring back Red Guardian as well, because I think they had a good dynamic between them all as well.
I still want Rachel Weisz to go back and do the next Mummy film, because it annoyed
Rachel Weisz, man, considering, like, you know, how old is she? Like, she could do more than me. She's like, whoa. She was really good. She was really good in this, because I think she tends to play these like prim and proper English like character, you know, like and like this was, I thought she was
exactly
really
how English people are. Completely right. It always annoyed me that she never returned for the third the Mummy film, the Mummy in the Emperor Tomb or whatever it was.
They had Maria Bell cast him.
It bugged me when they blatantly change things like that, but in this film she was great. Okay, let's see if there's any comments worthy of reading. I know I'm sure there's lots of opinions in regards to this, and again, that's what's so great about this conversation, is that no one of us is right. It's just our preference and our thoughts of the movie. But again, if you really liked the parts I didn't like, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. It's just fun conversation. So I'm curious. Let me scroll back up because I know I'll probably miss quite a lot. Jason Lopez says, my only real complaint about Taskmaster is that her scenes really just flew by faster than I could take in. I was really left wanting more and wanted her story to be fleshed out more. Completely agree. Lace Pants says, totally ruined Taskmaster. The second half of the movie was rubbish. Second worst MC movie in my opinion. Oh wow.
I wouldn't agree with that because I don't think Taskmaster had that much of a role. I don't think it ruins the whole movie. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, Liz Pants. I respect that, but I don't think it was a bad movie. I think she was she wasn't in it enough to wreck it.
It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't. But again, I can understand because as I said, it really bugged me and probably knocked Black Widow down the rankings on my order a little bit. Don't ask me to do rankings. I have no idea. But you know what I'm saying? If that reveal was a bit better, I would have left the cinema feeling happier rather than just being for God's sake, why did they change that? But again, that's just me. Again, Jamie says, yeah, but I like that she does know what it's like as a kid being ripped from only family. She knew the realistic these were. Oh, okay. He's talking amongst himself to Matt, so that was out of context. Sci-Fi George says, instead of actual Taskmaster, they could have made a generic version of, is that Prometheus from DC Comics?
Yeah, Prometheus.
Strider says the arms dealer was originally supposed to be Taskmaster, but changed it at the last minute. The arms dealer. Who was the arms dealer?
The guy who was helping her get all the stuff. What was it? Rick
Oh, that was meant to be Taskmaster. Oh, he was meant to be under the suit, is what he's trying to say. Oh, okay. I liked him as a character. He was only in it a little bit, but he was quite charming. He was nice enough. Obviously,
they obviously set him up. We all thought he was Taskmaster with his own poster, with star billing as well.
It was too obvious. When they force it in you, you know they're trying to twist it. So I knew it wasn't him. And everyone thought it was going to be female for ages as well. That wasn't even a big reveal. But like you said, the reveal was underwhelming because we're we haven't seen this woman ever as an adult. This is a stranger to us. How can we be shocked? A stranger under the mask. I'm so shocked. Do you know what I mean? Come on, Marvel. I expect better, Kevin. I expect Kevin's clearly watching this. Kevin, come on. I love you, but Lord and Savior Kevin Feige. But come on, mate. You know we deserve better than that.
There goes our Shang-Chi chicken now.
I know, yeah. Damn. Well, I was excited to go to that premiere. Matt W says Taskmaster was a much character assassin as Deadpool in Wolverine Origins. Oh wow, yeah, he did him dirty. They did him dirty, just like Wolverine Origins.
But look how they turned him around. So there's hope.
Yeah, there's hope. There's hope. Chase says I'd rather they introduce Tony Master later. There's multiple ways they could, because logically, Antonia wouldn't ever put the Taskmaster suit back on. Well, maybe she does. Apparently it's a chip in her neck, so maybe she needs it. They didn't really explain a lot. That's what's annoying. It's there's still so many questions. It's what? Who is she? What did she do? What's her problem? Because she survived. She had a bit of blown up her face, but I don't know. They didn't give us enough. But you're right. They could introduce Tony Masters later. Daniel S says, with the multiverse coming, everyone can get their favourite version of every character, but Black Widow was not the time. Antonio/Tonio Masters says, Kevin, yeah, I see what they did there. Very, very clever, Marvel. That's what I mean. Marvel are better than that. Come on. Just having a quick scroll, people, seeing if anyone put anything. I do appreciate everyone chatting away in the comments while me and Rich are rambling. Not enough Taskmaster, says Home Dude. Mini Plastic Multiverse says 100 agree with your points on Taskmaster, Dan. Still enjoyed the movie though. Yeah, I didn't. This is what I mean. I'm being really negative, I hated the film. Just that isolated element of the movie I didn't like, but overall I did really enjoy seeing Natasha just on her own. I thought all the action pieces were very good. Again, I think the new characters they actually gave some screen time to, as in Yana Valova and Alexei and Melina, were really good. I just think Ray Winston was bad casting and Taskmaster was a horrible reveal. But so the villains element of this movie were pretty weak, but the rest of it was solid. And why did their base have to be, right, Rich? This again, sorry to keep moaning, but why did their base have to be another hovering spacecraft? Do you know what I mean? Why couldn't it have just been some dingy old factory? I would have been fine with that. Why did it have to be another high-tech heli carrier in the sky?
I like that though. I like the scene with Melina where she blew up the booster. And she was like, "Oh, we've changed the plan now. We've got to change, blah blah blah, bye." And then she's just like, off she goes.
Yeah, it's just like Winter Soldier again. It's like, oh, the helicopter's crashing. Like,
but I was saying on Ladies and Liquor this week about the Tupac spoiling the film for me as well.
Oh yeah, tell him.
She comes in that white costume, did she?
Yes.
So as soon as that, no one think they were on the she was in that like black costume. Widow was like walking. I was like, I'm sure they've switched now. I'm sure they've switched because she was like in the white costume, and that's exactly what happened.
When she did that mask, they've used that mask now 3 times in the MCU. Once in Winter Soldier, they did it. Sharon Carter did it in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then again in Black Widow. So like again, that's tech that they have. It's fine. But when they did it the first time, when Natasha revealed it was her after they'd been captured, or it would look like Melina had been captured, but then took off the mask. It's Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. Imagine if it was Scarlet Witch. That would have been a better movie. Only joking. My first thought was, how did she have the exact same wig? But do you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of stupid thought, but those little details, I'm thinking, how did she have the exact same wig for Melina? And how did Melina have the exact same wig as Black Widow? But then they did skip to a scene where Black Widow's explaining the plan to Melina, and there's like loads of wigs in the background. So I was like, okay, I'll let you off. You had wigs prepared. I'll let you off. But I did think, how did you do it?
Who hasn't got a wig ready? Come on.
Funny. Okay. Daniel S says, I've actually been wanting the Red Guardian Melina 2-pack with the intent to make Eva from Mummy Custom, Evie from the Mummy Custom figure, thinking of using the Peggy Carter body. That's a great That's a good little suggestion. And again, I love those Brendan Fraser movies. He's turned into a bit of a marshmallow now, and now he just voices Robot Man on a thingy. But I loved them when we filmed. They were like my Indiana Joneses growing up, like, because they were like my generation sort of adventure films, if you know what I mean, especially the first two. So yeah, loved them with me. So that's how I know Rachel Weisz from that. Mark Tata says Ray Winston was very flat as the main villain. Yeah, again, I think the villain elements of this movie was weak. Ray Winston was just bad casting. Like, I know he's typecasting, but just cast him as like a British gangster. That's what he does best. Do you know what I mean? Don't cast him as a Russian arms dealer that's in a hovering spacecraft. Ray Dreykov, yeah, that's what he was called, Dreykov, Jason Lopez. In the film, reminded me more of a Russian Tony Soprano in terms of how he looks like James Gandolfini to me, says Jason. Dan says that was heavier hinted at Melina puts her rifle away. Yeah, that was a pretty obvious switcheroo as well, to be fair. But that 2-pack, talk back, switching the conversation all the way back round to toys, as we do best here, is meant to come out tomorrow, right? It's meant to hit the shops.
Hit UK stores finally tomorrow, which is not too bad considering the film came out, so I might get a few sales for that.
I'm just going to have a quick check on my emails to see if I've had the invoice from that, because usually, I think mine's from In Demand, if I've remembered to order it. Okay, I've got a few emails, and none of them are my invoice request for that. So, okay, maybe tomorrow.
I think In Demand, it wasn't on their list though for this week.
Typical.
So it might be next week for that. I just don't know with Hasbro lately. Different stores get them at different times. It's just all over the place. So.
Nobody knows. Okay, cool. We rambled on long enough about that. Now let's wrangle on some more about our next franchise, I guess. It's not franchise. The MCU's the franchise. The next Disney Plus show, let's just say. Loki. So Loki was this week, episode 6. So only 6 episodes in this. Which, don't get me wrong, I'd love... So when I'm enjoying something, I'd love more. But at the same time, I don't want things to drag or episodes to just be a waste. So I don't hate that it's 6 episodes, but I still like the Netflix shows, which were like 12 episodes. But that's just me. Anyway... Loki, 6 episodes, finished this week with, for me, an underwhelming season finale, and I'll explain why in a minute. But overall, did enjoy Loki. Again, it was one of the shows that I wasn't excited about until I seen a trailer, and then it made me intrigued. I've been enjoying it, and I did enjoy it, but again, there's still lots of explaining to do. What about you, Rich? Your just general thoughts on Loki before we get into the details.
So I like the middle of it. So episodes 3 to 5, I really like. I found it very slow at the beginning. Episodes 1 and 2, I wasn't too keen on, and then the last episode it was like watching an A-level drama performance. I was not impressed. Not a good A-level drama performance as well.
I'm on the same page with Rich in regards. That doesn't mean it's a terrible show. I just think this show was a lot of setup. So because the TVA was like a whole new concept to the majority of Marvel fans, and let's be honest, there's so many people out there that enjoy the MCU that don't know every little Easter egg from the comic. So there's going to be people out there, like I was aware of the TVA, but I didn't know about them. Like couldn't tell you much about them apart they were some sort of time agency within comics. So even I needed a bit of explaining, like what's going on here. So the first couple of episodes were basically just explanation. So basically, Mobius would talk to Loki, but he was basically talking to the audience as well, telling you what the TVA does and what's going on. And obviously, they're catching this Loki up on what happened to him, because obviously we know what happened to Loki. So they sort of need to rush his character development, because our Loki sort of got to the sort of good end of the spectrum at the end when he sacrificed himself to save Thor, or tried to anyway. So they had to sort of speed up this character development. So yeah, like Rich said, the first couple of episodes was a lot of dialogue, a lot of setting up, and then it got a little bit actiony in the middle, introducing new characters, having a bit of fun, a lot of Easter eggs, and then the very last episode, which should be like the season finale. Just think, we got WandaVision, where we seen a big fight, and finally Scarlet Witch is there in her true colours, fighting Agatha Harkness, and we get Vision versus Vision. Great. Season finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're getting the first time ever seeing the new Captain America, which is Sam Wilson as Captain America. Big battle, etc., etc. This time, like Rich said, season finale. Let's all sit round and have another conversation.
My biggest issue with the season finale is a lot like what a lot of people say about Taskmaster. Like the similar reasons for that, the people who don't like that, is that, like, obviously we read the comic books, so we realized who the big bad was, or like, you know, you could work it out, but there was nothing signed for your casual viewer, for someone who's never read a comic book in their life. Like most Marvel shows, you get a full story, you can understand what's going on, you can tell who the characters are even if you've never met them before. Like when Kang basically appears in the last episode, I mean, he's not even named, and it's not set out enough, and he gets so much exposition scenes. Like, I mean, he gets these like huge monologues. It's a character that we've never seen in any of the 5 episodes, and just to fling him in the last episode, it annoyed me more than anything else. Like, it was like, even if the big bad had been like a variant Loki, even if it had been like a variant Ravonna, someone that we've met, like, you've got to earn that, I think, to do these big reveals. And then it's like He Who Remains, and it's like, okay, like if we're around the TV show, we know that guy's been cast in Ant-Man as Kang, but if you're a casual viewer, you don't know that, and you can't just introduce, you've got to earn that as an audience. Like, it's like storytelling 101. Like, I'm not a storyteller, but you can't just like be like, the big reveal is this character that we've never met, we've never had anything led up to. I know someone would say, oh yeah, like the TVA, like Ravonna, they all linked to Kang in the end, but we haven't met, we've never met, no one has been mentioned of Kang in the MCU. You can't just do that as your big reveal as Kang, and then he's not even like like, if he'd had like a blue face in his mask on, maybe you could like be, oh yeah. But it's like, it's kind of like the MCU now is getting like, it's kind of going what went wrong for DC, is that they're setting up things for the future, not telling the story there and now. It's like, if there'd be like a teaser at the end where like Kang walked out, then yeah, that would have been fine. But to do the whole episode on Kang, I think he's got the most lines in this episode of anyone. It's just like, why? That's just my opinion. I was not a fan of, and I'm a big fan of Kang. I love Kang in the comic books, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But for this final episode of Loki, and again, I know it's season 2. I know they've now revealed there's a season 2, so I understand that. But just, I honestly really did hate this episode. It's one of my big, I'd say up there with like Thor: The Dark World.
Oh dear.
MCU misses for me, but that's just for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And what you're saying is like logical as well. It just can make some complete sense. You have to remember, like, we live in a bubble of like collecting and Marvel and all this stuff we enjoy. So we know all these little details about who's been cast and who's Kang and what's going on. These shows have got to be, they're put on Disney Plus, which is accessible to tons of just general audience members that just want to casually watch these without having to read tons of comics and stuff. So when those elevator door opens, there's no shock value again. It's not, oh my God, I can't believe they just revealed Kang. It's like, who's that guy? Do you know? And that shouldn't be the question. But maybe that's what Marvel wanted. They wanted you to be intrigued, like, oh, because I think they set the whole season, or the last couple of episodes running up to this finale, was set up to make you think. Even the little teasers that they put out, you know, to hype up each episode, they were putting scenes of Loki at a throne and stuff like that from previous footage. They were trying to set up that there was going to be a variant Loki in that castle. So I think from Marvel's perspective, the big shock when those elevator doors open is that it wasn't a Loki variant, it was someone new, which I think for Marvel, they're thinking, oh, that's the shock. It's not what we wanted you to think it is. It's not another Loki, it's actually someone new. And then it rolls into all this dialogue. But they sort of have to go through all of that exposition to sort of give you a little update on the potential of this character, because obviously they tell you he's a scientist from the 30th century and he found he could multiverse travel, and he eventually did the TVA. And they did they never said Kang, no one used the word Kang, but he did say, I've been called many names, Conqueror. That was the little wink to Kang. That was the only little wink when he mentioned Conqueror.
Right at the end, you had that statue where he looked more Kang. Like,
with the sort of collar. The collar, yeah. But he didn't have the helmet and no blue face so far. But yeah, and it's weird because he's meant to be this big character. They seem to hype him up as this big, powerful is the one who remains. And then he just basically let Sylvie just stab him in the heart. I know he set up saying, well, if you kill me, loads more versions of me will come. But it's still like, why are you just letting yourself be killed? Like, you go through all this trouble to be the last one that remains in this big castle at the end of the void, and you're just letting them kill you. Like, it was a bit weird how that played out.
So Russian Mini Plastic Mothers in the chat are both saying like it wasn't Kang, they never refer to him as Kang. So yeah, they don't refer to him as Kang.
Great.
They like refer to him as like He Who Remains, which is a different character in Marvel comic books. But it is Kang because he's been cast in Ant-Man as Kang.
Yeah,
so, I mean, unless it's like a Cersei move where they've got the same actress, but it's Kang. It is Kang.
And as I said, they even said the Conqueror. They even did that little wink to the audience where I've been called many names. A Conqueror, Kang the Conqueror. Like, they want you to... It's like we've known, like, Elizabeth Olsen, we've known she has been Scarlet Witch, right? I know they've called her Wanda Maximoff since she appeared in Age of Ultron, all of that. But we know it's Scarlet Witch. They only just called her Scarlet Witch in her TV show. So, like, this guy can get called any nicknames he wants, but we know he's Kang, do you know? So, I think this episode is meant to set up the rest of the MCU. It's meant to get you excited about what's going on, but it was too much setup. For me, I think a finale, something definitive should happen. And for me, it was all like set up, and now it's like, oh, now we just got to wait ages. Where I know they've revealed season 2, but it's like they could have given us something extra. Like, but I again, to play devil's advocate, just thinking in a normal non-COVID world, 2020, like Loki would have been placed differently. It would have happened just before. This was meant to. WandaVision was meant to lead in to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right? And I think technically in the original order, Doctor Strange movie was meant to come out before Loki did, like in the original run and like schedule they did. So how much rewriting and rejigging has been done in that time to accommodate all the changes? So I do think Marvel's originally plan has changed, and it's now come out saying that Loki's going to appear in the Multiverse of Madness, which makes sense because at the very end of the show you see the timeline being split in all these different ways, which again is that setting up Spider-Man, and nothing's been confirmed for Spider-Man, even though all the toys are hinting to us that he's jumping through multiverses. So are you excited? Do you agree where you think this is a lot of setup, not enough sort of, I don't know what the word is, but
I just wanted some it's just no one got like, I know they're setting up season 2, but no one got like an ending in this. Like Sylvie, like Ravonna, like Mobius, like everyone. No one got like, there was no ending for anyone. It was like we had all this story, all this build up, and now we've got to wait another year to like. So
is Loki in is Loki already in a multiverse? Do you know Loki went through that door at the end and he ran down?
He's in another dimension where they don't know who he is. And then obviously with that thing. So like people are pointing out like there are many versions of Kang in the comic books, like Scarlet Centurion, Ramata, Iron Lad, Daniel Richards, like Rushy saying that. like, yeah, completely. I understand that. I just don't get why this was you. I just don't understand it. As me personally, I understand Kang. I think he's a good character. He's had some really great stories in Marvel comic books, so I'm excited to see what they do for it. But for a Loki TV series, for that to be the big reveal, like the guy who's not to be named or whatever, it was just, I didn't like it. And maybe it's coming out of that Taskmaster reveal as well, that we just got that, like, well, that reveal that was like, what? And it was the same with this guy. I was like, when he was standing there, I was like, who are you? What's this? What? And then it was like, I was like browsing my phone, and I was like, oh yeah, he's Kang in Ant-Man 3. So
yeah, and if we didn't read that, we'd have no clue. We genuinely have to wait.
Yeah. I hate that more than anything, where it's like you've got to pay attention to stuff going on around it. Like where like they came out afterwards and were like, oh, Loki is now setting up like Doctor Strange, whole the new Spider-Man, all this is going to tie together. Well, show me that. Show me that in the episode. And like if that had been the tagline, like setting up like Doctor Strange, like, oh, everything's going wrong, that would have been amazing, and I would have been like, yes. But don't really do it in a press release for bloody deadline. I don't care about that.
Actions speak louder than words, and like you said, they have to show us to get excited.
Show, don't tell. It's like, just show.
Start going, Rich, I've got the best collection in the world, all right? Just off screen here is the best collection you have ever seen. There it is, right there, Rich. It's right there. Great, it's great. What did you think of it?
It's amazing. It looks brilliant.
See, do you know what I mean? But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're saying, "Oh, look how good the MCU is going to be. Multiverse is going to be crazy." Okay, show us then. Come on, you know. So I completely get it. And again, we're nitpicking for nitpicking's sake, but
yeah, because like I said, I really like the episode with all the Loki. So last episode, I thought that was a brilliant episode. I liked the first episode with Sylvie. I thought like when they went on their own to that apocalypse world, that was like a really good episode. Really loved that. So like I said, I'd say episodes 3 to 5 I liked, but as a whole, it was the most disjointed, most all over the place for me. And if you love this series, you can love it. I'm not telling you can't love it, and I'm not gonna like shout at you for loving it. Like, don't shout at me for not loving it.
I'm going to put another question in the chat before we get out of here. I'm very curious to see what people's favourite Disney Plus show is, because a lot of people are saying Loki is their favourite. Now, is that just because it's the most relevant one in their brains and we've just finished it and people are excited and people have already forgot about WandaVision?
I think, like, I understand why people like Loki, because I feel like it's the most... like television, like it is like from a television series type of view, it's probably the most one like runs like a television series. Like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are kind of like origin. They're like limited series setting up something else as well, but they do tell a complete story in them, I feel. Whereas like Loki is just like setting up season 2 and setting up Kang and stuff like that. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Right, I'm just setting this up now. I'm going to ask the question and we will decide right now. Right, so I'm asking the question in the chat again. So I'm asking, what is the best Marvel Disney Plus show? All right, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Loki? The question is now live. So if you have got a keyboard, then please let us know. Hit which one you like. And also, if you want to, just for fun, let us know which order you want them in. So if you put your order 1, 2, 3, what you like them, I'll read a couple out while we wrap up here. So again, the question is there in the chat right now. Be a part of the conversation. Hit that button. Which Disney Plus show do you like the best? And also give me your order. So literally write 1, 2, 3. Which one in that order? 1 being the best, of course. Okay. So Rich, I'll ask you first while people are typing away. What's your order? Just so far, just your feelings today. And I'm sure after a second watch, opinions may change and etc. But just right now, how you're feeling? What's your order?
I've got WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, then Loki. I wouldn't say there's much between the first two. And like I understand what everyone's saying, like Rush is saying like all this long-term setting things up. I understand that, you know, I understand it's like all world building and everything, but I want a complete story. I want resolution. I want like the characters I followed for 5 hours something.
This is what's frustrating, because it's what Hasbro is so good at. Just think, every film in the MCU leading up to Endgame was its own confined story, but in the background they had things happening, hinting about the future, but the story of the film was rounded itself. I feel like Loki is just more setup than it is rounded story. Like we have more questions now coming out of Loki than we do answers. And again, that's their intention, I'm sure. But like for me, I agree with Rich. I would like certain elements of that story to be wrapped up, and then we can move on to the next part with knowing bits and bobs in the background. And I know everyone's talking about there's loads of versions of Kang. Yeah, he basically said, you kill me, then you'll meet all my other evil versions. So we know there's going to be more versions of Kang. But yeah, curious. Okay, so the poll's going off. I think Loki is so far winning with 39%. We've got 33 votes, 75 people in here. So if we can see if we can get that vote up into the 40s, I'll be happy. About half the people. As I said, I understand we're talking spoilers, so I wasn't expecting to retain the whole audience, especially when we start diverting from toys. But it seems like now, talking about toys, WandaVision has the least amount of figures out of all these Disney Plus shows, because we've got 3 from Loki, 4 from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and 2 from WandaVision. And still, I'd argue more main characters missing from WandaVision than we have of the others. Because we've got Mobius, we've got Sylvie, yet to be released, of course, but we know they're coming. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier had 4 of them in one wave. And we've only got Wanda and Vision. We have none of the side characters. Swinging it back around to toys, WandaVision needs some more toys. Okay, let me jump into the chat. Let's read a few of these off. People have been putting their orders in, which I appreciate. And my order is similar to Rich, by the way, people. Loki's my 3rd favourite. Not that I hated it. Still really enjoying these shows. Love that we're getting the MCU continuation in TV format. Honestly, it's so good. And it's like, it's undoubtedly connected now as well. Do you know, I love the Netflix shows, like, genuinely really like them. But you could tell they were never fully connected to the MCU, where it's so entwined, it's perfect. And it's constantly flip-flopping. WandaVision to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Ask me tomorrow, it's WandaVision. Today, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay. Rich McGowan, Dan and Rich, you guys are killing me here with not thinking long term. Yes, I get the long term. We're just saying I would have liked elements of it to be wrapped up.
We're not saying you guys can't love it. If you love it, you can love it.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So far, Loki is winning 41% with 39 votes. Let's see if we can get a few more votes in to get half of the audience. Again, if you were near a computer right now, go to the keyboard, use your mouse, join the poll. There is a live poll happening right now in the chat. Okay, let me read a couple of these out. Let's see what order people are putting these in, because as I said, no one's right, no one's wrong. Everyone's got their own opinion, and that's what's fun. Home Dude says Falcon, then Wanda, then Loki. Mini Plastic Multiverse says Loki is the best, WandaVision close second, Falcon and Winter Soldier very, very average. And again, I think for me personally, I'll just enjoy those characters more, so maybe I'm biased. But again, everyone has their favourites. It's absolutely fine. Jason Lopez says Loki first, Falcon and Winter Soldier second, then WandaVision. See, so far I've read out 4 and everyone's is completely different. That's perfect example of how these are. Like, everyone has their own pros and cons, and that's what makes it so fun. I think this is a good thing. I think if it was clear this one's best, this one's second, this one's the worst, that would be terrible. Like, we want these to be engaging in different levels. Roborg 24, he said, I enjoyed Loki the most because it was more than an origin of a suit, unlike the other two. Yeah, he's sort of not wrong with that statement. I'm not going to take that away from him. Cloud says, I'm going with Falcon, Loki, then Wanda. George W says, Falcon and Winter Soldier first, then WandaVision, then Loki. Darth Primus says WandaVision, then Falcon and Winter Soldier, then Loki. Jamie says WandaVision, Falcon, then Loki. I enjoyed them all, but Rich says Loki doesn't feel like a complete show and probably won't until season 2. Yeah, again, I just think the post-credit scene in Loki was like, don't worry, we have got more, because otherwise we'd have been pissed off. We would have been like, what's going on? So they were basically just sort of going, yeah, don't worry, there's a season 2, because they know themselves there's still so much more to explore. Nathan Tolan says Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, then WandaVision. Nathan Asa says Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Loki, WandaVision, then Falcon and Winter Soldier. Rob Pollock says my favourite Disney Plus show is absolutely WandaVision, and that first episode is still one of my favourite things on TV this year. I rank them WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and Winter Soldier last. And yeah, WandaVision got like loads of Emmy nominations, like 30 something Emmy nominations, right? Didn't like Don Cheadle as well get a nomination for his 30-second cameo? Yeah, like even he said in an interview he has no idea why. It's ridiculous. Sci-Fi George says WandaVision, then Loki, all the way to the bottom is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sad times. Daniel S says Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, then Loki. Your boy's got a toy says we didn't get a definite ending for Iron Man and Cap for 10 years. Yeah, I agree. I'm not arguing with anybody about these points. Phil Jones says, we need Agatha. That's very true, we do. I'm assuming he's talking about toy form. Rob Pollock says, perhaps they'll announce a Marvel Legends Herb tomorrow. Yeah, we all need Herb. Kang finally sold out a Big Bad Toy Store and in full scalper mode on eBay. Well, Kang was always going to go the way of Doom, I think, as in like very accessible, very easy to get. Then it'd fade away and then people would be like, he's an A-list villain, I need him. So that doesn't surprise me. Especially now he's in the MCU. When things are in the MCU, whether you're a comic book fan or an MCU fan, it doesn't matter. It's just fact. When things are in the MCU, it pushes that character's like into more eyes. Like gives that character more public awareness. So like, of course, the comic book versions are going to get Googled or like. There's people that they put up polls of the most Wikipedia searches within like a week, and it's always stuff that's on TV shows and stuff because we live in the generation of watching people recap and Easter egg videos and stuff like that. Maybe we should do that, Rich, an Easter egg video. I'm not going to, by the way. Too much work. I can't even do my own videos at the minute.
I've got 50 Easter egg videos online in there.
I know, yeah. It's just pointless, ain't there? Just like, yeah, I think that was an Easter egg. No actual Easter eggs. Matt Tac, Falcon and Winter Soldier, then WandaVision, then Loki. Haven't finished yet. Dad Smoke says, I only watched Wanda so far. Looking forward to watch. Yeah, honestly, if you haven't seen them all, I do 100%. If you're a fan of the movies, do watch them all. But looking at our vote, we're 2 votes away from 50, and Loki is at 44% so far. So I'd like to hit 50. So if there's 2 more people out there that want to give me their opinion in the poll so I can end it, again, what is the best Marvel Disney Plus show according to my live chat right here on a Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening? WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Loki. 1 more vote away. We're at 49 votes. 1 more vote, and we will have the official answer according to this stream. But it seems like Loki is going to take it anyway. One of my faves of 2020. Kang is a fantastic figure, says Phil Jones. Yeah, I think he's someone I can grab without knocking figures over. Where is he? There he is. Do you recognise this guy? It's the guy who was in the elevator during the last episode of Loki. Without a blue face or any purple or green.
Yeah, and he was next to Taskmaster now on your shelf.
If he was eating an apple, would that make a difference to you? Would you then recognise who it was? Okay, beautiful. There you go. 51 votes. I'm ending the poll. It's official. According to you guys, the poll is over. And Loki is the best Disney Plus TV show, according to my chat. So fair play to you. Use one.
And as the Brandon variant, I should point out that Brandon really did like Loki, and he really liked this episode as well.
Would a Brandon have put it in that order then? So the chat have put Loki first with 42%, WandaVision with 32%, and the Falcon and Winter Soldier with only 25%, which makes me sad. Is that the order you think Brandon would have put it in?
I would put them all at the top. I think Brandon liked each one of them equally.
It sounds like a Brandon answer, to be fair. Well, there you go. There it is. There's the poll. Let me get rid of the spoiler warning. No more spoilers. It's all over. That's it. There we go. And that's the end of another stream on a Thursday. Well, thank you, everybody. And as I said, can I just prove, and thank you for Your Boy's Got Toys, because he just proved it for me. Before the Thanos Copter was canon, the Thanos Copter was a double barrel emoji on the Dan Who live chat, all right? I didn't jump on the hype. I was the hype. I'm joking. That's your guy fault for your the stream on HasLabs. And if the HasLab reveal tomorrow is a Thanos Copter, don't be going mad at it. Don't be saying, I wanted Galactus, because you guys wanted this, all right? You guys made this happen. We know the Marvel team are lurking in the background watching the streams. How you doing, Dan? How you doing, Dwight? How you doing, Ryan? How you doing, the rest of the crew that never come on camera? How you doing? Actually,
they're like me of the group. Like,
no, you're on camera. No, you're on camera. You're on camera. Yeah, all good. Well, we appreciate everyone jumping in today. Any final thoughts, Rich? Just before we wrap up tomorrow, things you want to get revealed tomorrow. do you want to just find out it's the HasLab and just be done with it? You want to just find out it's Galactus so you know what to do? And if it's £400, are you in or you're out?
I hope it's the HasLab reveal tomorrow, because at least you've got like a month then to plan if you're going to buy it or not. £400, I would definitely be thinking about that. Like I said, anything above 350, I'm going to have to give thought to. Like, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, gotta say, so it's not like there's certain things with Fantastic Four wise I could quite happily miss. I think I've got a Doctor Doom and a Sue Storm on my shelves. That's it. So it's not like an X-Men one where I'd probably be all in. If they were £400, I'd find a way to get it. But we'll wait and see what they announce. I mean, if it's Galactus, if it's some good tiers, if it's some like heralds with it, then maybe we'll be getting it. But I'll wait and see tomorrow. You're off work tomorrow and you're doing like a live stream reaction to this.
Do you know what? I genuinely could. Amanda's not well at the minute. I'm probably pissing her off now because I'm being really loud and she's in the next room. But yeah,
Amanda.
if the reveals are decent tomorrow, then I could be tempted to jump on. I'm trying to set up my upstairs bit. This is like my very small collection room where I display things. But I've got an upstairs that has a bit more room, but it's just the internet connection's not great up there, and there's no fancy display behind me. So like, I might be able to sneak something. I'll think about it. Let's depend on the reveals. But I would love to jump on and talk. I always love talking toys, especially Marvel Legends. So yeah, maybe that will happen tomorrow. Maybe I'll get some channel members on as well. I'll speak to the Discord crew, and the links for the Discord people are in the description. Same as if you want to buy a t-shirt. Thank you to everyone who has been buying a t-shirt. There are going to be more designs slowly rolling out, people. So obviously, I know people are excited for the Thursday crew shirt for all the day one channel members, which I appreciate. And again, shout out to all my channel members. As I said, I'm trying to slowly creep towards this milestone of channel members, which really does make a difference. I know the content on my channel is a little bit slow, but these live streams are keeping it alive and kicking, and I do appreciate the community that we're building here, and I will send my best wishes to Amanda's from you all. But yeah, tomorrow more Legends, never a bad thing. Let's just get Galactus out of the way. Let them just reveal it. Let's know how much it is, so I can sort of figure out a buyer for my kidney. While we've still got people here, anybody interested in a kidney? Like anyone? Well, like I only drink a few Koppelbergs. Like, you won't want Rich's kidney. He's a vodka drinker. His kidneys are probably black at this point, right? You want my fresh, nice, fruity cider kidney. Because I may need it to buy a Galactus. Otherwise, I'll be using PayPal credit or something like that. Spread it out over 4 months, interest free. It's not bad. I don't even work for PayPal. I'll give you that for free, people. All right. That's how I got an extra Sentinel. But yeah, all good. Okay, let's wrap it up, people. Let me see if I got my credits at the end here. I think we had a few new subscribers, which I always like finding out. There you go. There's my thank yous. Only a few thank yous today, but still, I appreciate all the same. Thank you very much to the super chats from Gamerboy103 and Cameron Bright, new subscribers. Don't tread on me and the other guy I can't pronounce from Italy, and then channel members. There you go. Thank you very much. And then also Thirsty for Chicken with the channel membership as well, which I appreciate. So once again, on the board, there you go. Thank you very much to everyone who helps continue to support the channel and the content we create over here. As I said, tomorrow is, of course, Fan First Friday, 16th of July, as I said, about 4 p.m. UK time, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. But that's just me talking out my ass. I don't actually know if that's true. No one corrected me so far, so I'm assuming that's correct. But Rich, thank you. I mean, the Brandon variant, thank you very much for joining us. And shout out to Hero Collections as well. I guess we should do that as well. Shout out Hero Collections.
Hero Collections.
I've got his logo, his special variant logo here. There you go. Shout out Brandon as always. Hero.collections. Go and follow that guy on Instagram. But also, you want to follow this guy on the screen right now. Rich, we've got to sort of get you on the way to 1K type thing. What you at now? You're about 700 and something, right? I seen you post something.
Yeah. I don't care though, Dad. I'm just here for the toys. I don't care about all that rubbish.
Still, it's all one community that we're building here. So it's all good. There you go. Phil's just put in the Discord link. So if you're interested in the Discord, it is in the description. Phil's just put it in the chat. As I said, we appreciate you all. Still over 80 people here, just as I ramble away towards the end, which I appreciate. Clearly, you're too far away from your keyboard to turn me off. But yeah, I hope maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, maybe I won't. Maybe. Maybe. Will you jump on with me, Rich, if there's stuff to talk about?
I'm off work till Wednesday, so if you need me, give me a call.
Hey, make it happen. All right, let's see what happens then. We'll see what happens. We may have some live reactions right here on the channel, talking HasLab. If it is the HasLab, we don't know. Watch it just be something random. Watch it be the fantastic car after all of this nonsense. Ridiculous. Right, nice one, everyone. Just real quick then to everyone who's still about. Rob Pollock, Mark Tac, Mini Plastic Multiverse, Phil Jones, Jamie, Cloud Foxwell, who didn't find anything in Walgreens, unfortunately. Shout out to the Wolfpack that were, hopefully they're finished doing the dishes by now. So shout out to the Mischievous Unicorn and Killer Mike. And shout out to the Magad as well. He's working hard, I'm sure, so we can buy more toys. Don't we all? Shout out Dan, shout out Matt, shout out George. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate it. Your boy's got toys. Thirsty for chicken. Rush as always. Dad Smoke. Omar V. Cameron Wright as always. Roborg 24. Nathan is here as well always. So appreciate you. Daniel S. Darth Primus. There you go. Jason Lopez. Home Dude. I appreciate it all. But me and Rich are getting out of here. Let's finish off with an awkward wave. It's been fun. Just as we wrap up now, just give me the next Disney Plus show you're looking forward to.
What if's next today? And Hawkeye as well. Hawkeye should be good as well.
I'm very excited about the potential of Moon Knight. I know we won't see it till 2023, but I can still be excited for it. But that's a
Secret Invasion.
Yes.
That should be good. And Samuel L. Jackson as well.
So much. Again, there's going to be many, many more streams where we're talking Disney Plus people, I am sure. But we appreciate you all. We're giving you an awkward wave if we go. I don't know what I need to go back and see what the record for the awkward wave is. I do want to say though, before we go, as we're awkwardly waving, go and check out the duck racing. The World Duck Racing League has officially commenced over on Legends and Liquor. So far, Rich is in the lead with 10 points. There's a whole scoring system. There's going to be a leaderboard. There's going to be a table. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be merch. The Duck League is underway and it's a Legends and Liquor exclusive. So if you're missing out on the Duck Racing League and want to be involved, then go and watch Legends and Liquor. It got over 1,000 views. So I think a few people are interested in Milk Talk and Duck Races. All right. So the channel may change to Duck Racing and Milk Talk.